Alrighty, welcome to the M2O watch party. Thanks everyone for tuning in live. We've got a lot of people in already. Might just stop sharing the show. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We got 3 pages of people. I upgraded it to like 300 people this time, so we'll see if we can max it out. But yeah, we're gonna start this by watching the dot vision. I've also got a bit of insiders to help out with some footage as well. Why don't we start with some of that actually? So just gonna um, open up a couple videos. So this is what we're looking at the start line. Everyone's sort of
Yes, John.
waiting to get ready. There's a bit of swell, so this is
I'll just
it didn't quite. It's not normal to have waves breaking like this on the shoreline. You can see it's quite brown as well. That shows there's a bit of swell going on the shore. So that's that south swell they've been talking about, which is going to make it interesting for the finish. Wind-wise, doesn't look like a standard windy day. But and then here's again, the Shori. This is not normal summer conditions. This south swell is going to make it tricky for everyone to get all the gear onto the boat. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit of a later start. It just makes logistics a little bit harder for everyone to get going out there on time. So if it is late, it kind of does make sense. Few other videos I've got to share as well.
Hey, James.
Yeah. Is that Mercho?
Yeah, I'm here with Kane's parents, and Johnny's here.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for joining in. Yeah.
Yeah, we're here. So the surf's pumping out the front, but it's looking really offshore, so it's going to be a super tough finish.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that more northerly wind, and then the south swell, I guess if they get a set, should make it a little bit easier for them. But yeah, the north wind is going to be tricky for those coming in at the finish. That's for sure. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, Al and Kane's parents. Cool to get the one of the favorites parents online.
Sure. I can take you for a quick walk around at some point if you want, if the start's a little while off.
Yeah, I've got a few more videos to go through. Shannon from Actors.
Jimmy and everyone watching with your feed.
Can you guys hear the audio on these as well? Just want to. So you got Shannon
very quietly, a little bit, but it's quiet.
I'll turn it up a little.
All right, hey Jimmy and everyone watching with your feed. On board now with the Axis boat. We're at the start of the M2O 2026. Got some special guests on board today, and I want to give you a little bit of an update, a little bit of a brief. We're at Molokai. We're maybe an hour or so from the start. It's actually raining. The conditions are looking a little weird. Super interesting. We've come across this.
All right, what do we got?
Bit of energy in the ocean, but not heaps. But let's have a quick.
You guys can all hear that, right?
So make sure. Watching Instagram.
I'm not watching Instagram.
You guys can hear it?
Yes.
Yeah, sweet.
We got Larry's audio. Because everyone watching from Australia is going to be tuning in for this night. So, Kai, what are we looking at today, mate? Tell us about the conditions and what's the strategy looking like?
Yeah. So we got some pretty north wind. Not horrible, but it's going to be pretty hard cut the whole way across. This rain's come through, right? Like just before our start, so it's kind of killed the wind at the top. We haven't made it to the top yet, so I have no idea what it's actually doing, but it doesn't look hectic or insane. So strategy is sort of try and stay high through the first half of the race, and then sort of run along outside, pretty wide outside Oahu, go a bit south, and then cut really hard in towards finish. But that's the game plan. See what happens. Conditions might change, and I'll probably switch up some things along the way, but have a good time.
There you go. That's pretty cool. Little insight from Kai Thompson. Anything, Kai, you can say? Aussies back home?
Yeah, thanks for the support. We can love you all. Let's get it.
All right, he's got a good energy always, this guy. So really pumped. We've got Kai's brother Finn on board today.
Right.
Stacking us up. We got Adrian Roper, who's designed flying spoils there from Axis. He's
Okay.
watching. We're going to be tuned in, chasing Kai. Hopefully, somewhere up the pointy end of this one. But as we know with the F2O, anything can happen. Just can't wait to see.
I mean,
how
how's the Transformer looks? Is it pretty old or?
Fucking get so pumped out here. I don't know how the riders are feeling like getting ready because I just get so anxious. No way I could ever do this stuff, but these guys are preparing for this. They seem pretty locked in, and it's pretty cool to get a first-hand chat with Kyra. I'll race up the front back to you, James, and enjoy the feed, everybody. Let's freaking go. It's M2O 2026. Go!
I think if you're not pumped up now, then you should be. That was great from Larry and the I guess the Access Media boat. We've got a couple more as well. I think still a little while to go. I don't want to miss the start, but I'm looking at the dots now. I know you guys can't see them just yet, but nothing, no action just yet. So we might look at a couple more from we got another one showing the conditions, so we'll keep on with that. And yeah, great little pump up from the man Shannon or Larry Foiler. So these are the conditions. That's just a photo, and you can see it's not what it's looked like the last couple of years that I've been doing it. That's for sure. It's looking much smaller, grainier. So yeah, it's not going to be a super hot one.
Totally crazy out here right now, mate. We're like 20 minutes from race start, and the scrambling continues. We've got guys paddling out to the channel trying flat water pop-ups just to see what the bumps are like. Kai's just done one, and he's actually paddled up no problem. But he is not sure because with a bit of a northerly today, there's going to be a cut involved. So he's not sure he's going to be cutting well enough. So it's getting like crunch time. We're doing a quick foil change now, but and I think everyone's doing the same. Like looking out here at all the boats, it's just everyone's just bolting. There's people trying pop-ups everywhere. Like it's just totally insane. We've got Kyle Lenny out here in the middle of the channel now. Kai's doing practice pop-ups as well. Just insane. The second guessing and everything going on right now is next level. So man, the live feed's just going to be insane today. No idea what to expect, but just tune in for a big one, everybody. This is going to be nuts.
Strong foils.
So that's pretty interesting, right? Smaller conditions than what we've seen in the previous 3 years, really. It's going to mean that it kind of means the race is open to anyone. I think really if conditions were strong, then you're looking at Edo and Kane. But when you have lighter conditions, there's like Tom Constant, Thomas Goyard, those guys are used to, I guess, lighter conditions. The Aussies, Tibby has done lots of races in really light winds, have done really well. Kai Thompson, I think, is still going to be really, he's probably one of the more well-rounded guys. Jared Snow as well. So it makes it a little bit less of a Hawaiian race, which is different for sure. We'll get another take on it from I guess the Code Media boat. We got Caitlin Baxter who's doing media for looks like Josh and Adam. So I'll just share that. Looks like we're still a little bit of time, but we'll keep an eye on the dots. If the dots do start moving, please let me know. I don't want to miss it either. So. That was the wrong one.
Over. It's basically glassy here on Molokai. Everyone's starting to look at each other's foils, being like, "Are we sizing up or whatever?" But it's maybe 50 minutes to start time, and I've still got my fingers crossed that this rain will clear and the wind will pick up. So I've committed to my foil choice, and I'm just going for it.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Interesting. So yeah, you can see definitely a few different people, holding or folding to the conditions. It's a tricky one. Kissa, I know you were interested. You were keen to get on the start line, but it was a little bit tricky. What do you think you'd be using in those conditions?
Yeah, I'd be using probably so I'd use the Axis 1090, which is about a 740 foil. I actually think with all the testing that we've done the last month over there, it's been really interesting and it's really, as everyone's got higher aspect and lower area, it's become quite obvious that weight is a massive influence on how you perform on a foil. Like I'm finding I was getting down to 590 and I wasn't really going that much faster than on a 740 foil, so but with so much less effort. So I'm thinking out there that if you're around the 85 kilogram mark, you'd be looking at looking at those conditions, you'd be looking at a 700 to 750 size foil today with a reasonable size tail.
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of strange. I guess every start we've had out at Ilio Point has kind of been nuking right from the get-go, and it's only really gotten smaller as we've gotten into the channel. So nerve-wracking for the crew, when normally it's the biggest conditions at the start, and if this is the biggest conditions at the start, it's going to be a bit of a grind today. And to be honest, I'm spewing because those conditions definitely play into my ballpark a little bit. And there's going to be crew like, I think Jared Snow's got some real grit, like I said before. Kai Thompson, I think it does bring in, like, I don't think Edo's the favorite anymore, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I think everyone's, kind of seen how dominant Edo and Kane have been the last couple races. This is going to be different, which is it's exciting. Um, so I'm gonna star some of the athletes just before we get
Hey,
started.
James, since you're talking about conditions while you do that starring, Robert Vodchek asks if the lighter conditions will affect the finish as much as the prior China wall finish. And since we've got that south swell running, it's going to be big when they come into the finish. Yeah, someone just going to lock onto a set and fly by everyone.
Going to be really hit and miss. Some people will probably come down with the more northerly winds, and others might get lucky with a set wave. So it's definitely not going to be over until like it's over. So it should be one of the more exciting ones, I think. I feel like the last few years, obviously not following it, but Edo and Kane have kind of gotten out in front. And there's been a little bit of back and forth, but there's kind of been two or three people in the running. I think you could probably add a few more people in the running this year, looking at.
It looks like they've started, guys.
Yeah, cool. We're on the dot vision. So um,
It's the women start first, so highlight Annie.
okay, here's Annie.
James, I think you're on last year's dot vision.
Yeah, you are.
The links.
I throw a bad link in there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's right. Could someone send me this year's top vision? I'll get that updated. Perfect, thank you. Yeah, I didn't think.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, let's zoom into the. Yeah, we got
From
some.
what I saw, they're doing a staggered start with the women starting 5 minutes first, then the seated men, then the unseated and escorted men, and then you got the wingers last, about 5 minutes between each start.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like Annie's tracker's on a boat. And then looks like the men have started too, huh? We've got Axel and yeah, so the seated start has started as well. So we get Finn, Kai. Who else do we want? I think Jeffrey, was a really good battle between Finn and Jeffrey last time. I think what else we got? Interesting. I guess let's just look into it. Where's Edo as well?
I think this year they're starting in waves.
Interesting. Edo's had a bit of a shocking start if he was in the first wave, which you wouldn't expect. If that is his dot, maybe it's his escort boat. This is the tricky part with following along, I know.
Edo has it updated for 55 seconds on my screen.
Yeah, that's still though 55 seconds. We see. He came to that
So, the city of Casey's mayor, Stephen Coon. Stephen, thanks for your time this morning. Firstly, what's an acoustic camera?
Wow, look at Kai Thompson. He's just taken off, northerly line, beautiful.
Yeah, Yeah. So that, yeah, I think today that like generally the South line is kind of being agreed to be the faster one, but I think today with the north wind, you definitely don't want to be going too far south because you're going to end up, you know, having a hard time getting in. So Kai Thompson, Axel, Rye, Tom Constant, some of the twins, Nick, Perth having a pretty good start. Who's this out front? Trent, Trent Carter, having a good one too. And Guido should definitely start him. But yeah, interesting. Get Jared on there as well. Jared's definitely going to be one to watch. But yeah, it's to get a few of the girls. Andrea Mola definitely should be looked at. Nathan Florence, um, Naomi. So Naomi's in terms of the rankings. I don't think well, basically Kai Thompson for the Downwind Four World Tour basically has sewn it up. I spoke to him last night. He's really keen to put a bit of an exclamation mark on that, top of the Downwind Four World Tour rankings. So he's not satisfied with being at the top. He wants to win M2O. So we're gonna definitely watch him as he goes along. Yeah, it's everyone's going by the looks of things. So maybe check back on Edo and see where he's up and going now. So um, his dot is correct. So he's had a shocker of a start, which is going to be interesting to see how that plays on his headspace. That's not normal for Edo. The last couple of races he's been up and going from the get-go. So he's probably stuck to his guns and gone with a little bit with the same foil, but it has cost him a pretty sizable lead. So yeah. Interesting. The two guys that have been leading the beginning of every single race so far are not leading. Guido, Trent, Rye, and Kai look like they're the current front runners. And as I said earlier, the northern line I think is probably going to be the one you want to be looking at. And yeah, very interesting. Malay is going to be one to watch as well. He always turns up for M2O.
Kane's in that south pack right next to Edo also. So the two of them are
Yeah,
together.
interesting that Kane maybe's had something's not going right for Kane because he was up sort of in this front pack a little while ago and he has dropped back or Edo's caught up to him too. So interesting.
Matty, do you want to use the white shit? Do we have more of that?
Just careful, you guys. If you're not on mute, we can hear what you're saying. So just be mindful of that. We can definitely give Perth a follow too. Looks like just having a look back at who potentially maybe didn't get up in that first pack. Gage, he's generally had a really good start the last few races. Brady Hurley, Adrian Destang, Zeke, Jack Ho, and then that's I guess our second pack. We'll definitely keep an eye on those two. But
I heard Jack Ho's just surfing the channels this year. He's not really going for it.
That's what I heard. Yeah, he's anything but race, I think, is his motto at the moment. So yeah. Just seeing if
And it
earlier.
looks like the next wave of green dots took off too. So
Yeah.
everyone started except for the wings now.
Yeah.
Gio De La Rosa is still sitting still. I'm not sure if that's right or not. No, his tracker's not up yet. 22 minutes.
I'm just thinking Annie's smashing the women's race. She's kind of holding off the men too for the moment. Which I guess if it was a 5 minute start, then but yeah, these are the women behind in pink. But yeah, interesting. A lot less boats was the idea with the way they started it, and so far looks like, well, from here anyway, that it's working. Let's just zoom out a little. So the YouTube live starts mid-channel, is that right? Or is that already on? Is that something we can look
They
at?
said at the half hour. So, but then when I commented, they said at the mid channel. So we shall see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got it up on another screen.
Yeah, great. Just double checking my doing updates on the on my WhatsApp. Get the updates coming. But yeah,
Another question that they were asking from our comments here is the prototype situation. So Is that still a big factor with a regular person entering the race not being able to get prototypes? Or like if they ride for code, will you guys give them a prototype?
Yeah, all of the code writers have, I guess, pre-production stuff. So, um, you know, prototypes. Again, if that's a prototype, I guess it's not ready to buy from everyone. Pretty similar across all the brands, from my understanding. Not many people are using straight production stuff. Even Ed on the last couple of years on the F1 gear, he hasn't been on, straight production stuff. There's been a few different things that have been used or tested. Basically it's a really good opportunity for brands to test new stuff because everyone's using the best possible stuff they have access to. I've heard the X Files podcast, the thing sort of last night, talking about how there should be like a stock division. I think it'd be a great idea, but the problem with a stock division is that if you've been to one of these races, you'd understand how disorganized they are. And it'd be so easy to enter the stock and not use stock. Like, as silly as that sounds, and it's like not in the true, like not what you should be doing, but like, stock, it's very hard. Like, to where the sport is at the moment, I don't think we're ready for that. I think definitely in the future, I think it'd be a great idea. But I just think for the moment, it's not quite there yet. Probably the best way to put it. There's too many games to be made. In 18 months, people are going from 2-minute Ks to 1 minute 30 kilometers, and so it's 25% faster. To leave that out on the table is not a good idea. Just I guess a update. Edo's tearing through the pack. Kane looks like he's having a bit of trouble in comparison. And then really just the pointy end, we got Trent Carter looking like he's leading the entire pack behind Annie. Kai Thompson Kai Thompson and Axel, Rye and Tom Constant all sort of consistently right at the front there. Guido making a good fist of it as well. So yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely not Andrew Gibbons, definitely one to watch as well. Definitely not the race start that I guess we had expected, on paper, I guess.
Hey, morning, Jimmy.
Hey, Tom.
Paige Ames is live in the channel, if that helps, on Insta, and so is Gnarly Marley.
Perfect for that.
So Paige Ames, it looks light and glassy and a bit mixed up. I'm feeling for these crew.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look at this one, eh? Yes, there's bumps running, but it's
Yeah, for sure.
This is
jungle.
so gnarly.
It is not what the channel looks like the previous years. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be lots of lead changes, I feel.
It's really gonna separate those out with conditioning and those that, can't back up 2 days later after a bigger race. Like that's gonna test out legs for sure.
Yeah, seriously. Some people paddling. It's not what you want to be doing at this point.
If you were looking at that, Jimmy, what would you go? What foil would you run without, dropping prototype sizes? You'd
I'd be
jump
going
up.
around like a 7, like Kissa said, around a 750 kind of size. Looking at that. We got a 6.
So that's bigger than the 2 prototypes you were talking about on M2M, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that John Hearn?
Yeah, it's John Hearn Dog. He'll be loving the flatter stuff. Hearn Dog. He trains pretty hard for the flatter stuff. So it's
I reckon the lighter crew might have an advantage in this sort of conditions, or whoever can paddle up the best, really.
Yeah, it's
so parked. Oh my god.
That's not what we'd expected, I guess the north wind, really the south swell was the one that I was worried about more than anything else. But who was the other one to watch, Tom?
Gnarly Marley.
Yeah.
Don't know whether it's still live. So they got south swell as soon as they get out from the bay, James, and then that'll take them across the channel. And then as they come in towards Oahu, they've got sort of a bit of backwash and a north wind almost in their face.
Well, it's definitely not in your face. Like it
If
will
you're cutting
be,
right.
yeah. It's cutting, but like it's surfing right. Like I've done M2O on the SAP in the north in these sorts of conditions. There's still bumps there's still bumps. It's definitely going to be better on a foil than on a SAP. Cutting right's not so much an issue, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, it's not what it's been the last few years, but it's kind of been like the best possible conditions. And yeah, this is going to be
Oh man, they're gonna be
definitely
cooked.
a very different race. So I think we're going to see some different people come to the front from the previous years, but also the previous races.
I noticed some of the top 30 that are unassisted took para wings. But if you're having a shit show,
I'd be getting rid of the powering if I was John
it's
Mann
just
right
like
now.
probably an extra 500 grams you'll just throw in the channel after a little bit if it's
Yeah.
not going to get you back up. That's
Seriously.
brutal.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
poor
brutal.
guys.
Non ci sono onde, tremendo.
So let's just check back in on the dots, I guess.
Oh,
You can see. Yeah, that's a really good insight. Thanks for sharing that link, Tom. That's awesome. Just to see like how flat it is. Interesting. Like I said, Axel Kai Thompson's dropped away a little bit. I wonder what sort of foil choice he ended up going with. Axel Pham surging, nice line up north. The men are starting to close in on Annie now. Guido, Malate, he's surging right now. Pace is definitely one to watch as well. Give him a star. Finn Spencer, honestly, Finn's a hammer. He's super fit. So I'm kind of just starring everyone that I think sort of, up there. Interesting. Hobie having a bit of a shocker back there. Johnny Hagan, Ryan Arzi, Luke Atkinson, Jared Snow. That's a real shame. Like I wouldn't have expected him to be back there. He's behind some of the women. Just double check that that's live. Yeah, that is live. So he's come down. Yeah.
Hey Jimmy. Hey Jimmy.
Yeah.
Also interesting to look at the green dots, which is what are they? The unseeded.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, forgot. Yeah, Adam
Yeah,
Snow.
just been having a look at those. Adam Snow is just killing it.
Yeah.
As opposed to Jared. A
Yeah.
couple other ones in there. Zach Chapelow's doing really well.
Yeah.
And also Frank, which I thought a bit with Frank, and we were pretty close to in the M2M, and he is just having a great race. So
Yeah.
I think I was chatting to him, and he's gone with the 1090.
Yep.
Which Access 1090, about a 740 type one. That'd be looking at those conditions be perfect. So he's got himself, going really well in that sort of the unseeded ones. Very interesting because they're the ones. I mean, they're the ones definitely I can relate to.
Yeah, they're the ones that also like kind of they haven't done it before. Like they didn't do it last year anyway. So they're guys that, have a little bit less experience, for this channel anyway. And it's Dave Galvin's one to watch as well.
That's why I think it's impressive for Zach Chaplow, because he's such a gun. He's so fast, and he's obviously made a mature decision around his foil choice. So good to see him doing really well.
Yeah, really good. Thanks for highlighting that, Kisser. That's great. Yeah, wow. It's definitely not the race that I thought it was going to be. I even gave the code team a bit of a pep talk last night. It was like, go small team. The channel's always bigger than you think. And definitely, I really hope they didn't listen to me, because this is not what we had expected. That's for sure. Yeah. Annie's held on. She's hit the 5 mile mark. I think she's still in the lead, but yeah, Malay, Trent, Axel, Rye, look like they're just about to overtake her. See Annie with the 5 minute start. Looks like she's done great. And Like it's I don't know. I'm kind of in shock, to be honest. Like that, to see where's Edo now. Um, so
Coming up the middle, he's looking good.
yeah. Oh, here he's here. Yeah, he's caught
Right
up.
behind Guido.
Yeah, he's had a really good sort of for the shocking start he had. He's pretty much in the top pack now. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on if Edo holds his pace. Like Edo's one of those guys who's not really going to size down by much. So if he does size down, it's probably not by a lot. So, you know, there is the risk that he's super fit, but there is the risk that he does blow up, just based on the speed that he's been sort of going, from once he did get started. Again, if I'm gonna back anyone to not blow up, it's Edo, but that is a risk, that.
Out a little bit, but man, I mean, you've done these channel crossings, but 108 subfoilers, man.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild.
What sort of time frame do you think they'll finish in, given the conditions now? Like the time's going to be blowing out.
A little bit. Like I still think they'll probably be doing around just over 2 hours is probably my guess.
Eu tenho que entrar, mas é neste.
Kind of hard to, what do we got? So Axel's doing 16 miles an hour. It's what was it, 30, 32. Well, it's a bit more than 32 miles, like 40 miles now. So yeah, it's just over 2 hours based on the pace that, Trent sort of heading a bit further south now. Interesting, Kai Thompson. That's pretty slow, 14.2. The other thing that is, going to be interesting, the channel's going to change, and there's going to be times when people are struggling and then other times when people are humming, like going really well. So we're going to see times when people are at the start, Edo was down, but now he's rushing through everyone. And if the conditions get better, I'd probably expect Edo to make a bit of a gap on everyone. But then as conditions get worse, maybe he'll have a hard time again. It's really hard to say. Yeah, Tom Constant could do super well. We got a few from Greg Close, tuning in from France. Definitely, I think I said earlier the French connection. Thomas Goyard, Tom Constant. I think they're going to be really good because the conditions. It's not the same as what we've seen. Aaron also placing bets on Axel, Molokai, and Kai Thompson, just because the young guys can sort of push that higher heart rates for longer. All really good points. Peter Cook asking how Edo made up so much distance, but now seems to be struggling to overtake. It's tricky. The headspace is something that you kind of can't ignore. Like when you are overtaking people, his last position was 2 minutes ago, so that's probably the bigger factor. But sometimes you get a really good rhythm going through people, and then you get a bit mixed up. So it's a rhythm thing, the downwind foiling. If you're out of rhythm, you can kind of force it, but sometimes your heart rate spikes again and you sort of lose the rhythm again. So it's there's a lot of factors that go on. We've got Nathan Florence down 2 miles per hour. That's paddling speed. That's live. We got a few people still on the start. What are they? Ezekiel Lau, Liam Wood, John McGettigan, Rhett Bonner, Christian, Casey Markham. Like it's chance that we might see a few people, opt out with a day like today. So Salal, he's a young Swiss foiler. He's a long way south. I'd love to see him go a little bit further north. I've sort of helped him sort of prep for this, and what's the difference between a seeded and unseeded? Basically, the seeded riders are the ones in orange, and the unseeded are in green, and the women in pink. Basically, the seeded were the guys who have done the race before, and a lot of them opted to not have an escort boat, and then the unseeded were guys that had to have an escort boat, and they basically hadn't done the race before or hadn't had a good enough result. They weren't deemed seeded, so they were given 5 minutes to the rest of the guys just to sort of clean up it's all in an effort to clean up the boat wash and the mess that is that is uh, you know, the boat wash issue that have been in the past. So definitely looks like it's not as big an issue. Trent Gordon is actually one that I'm really keen to see how he goes. He's like an older guy. He wouldn't mind me saying that, but he's in his early 40s. But he's super fit. He's trained really hard for this race, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him up in the sort of top 10 to 20 for this race. In the last couple of races, he's kind of been in the top 40 or thereabouts. But I do think that these conditions suit him. He loves the grind, and so yeah. Um, yeah, Carter's doing really well. Adam Snow's made his way through the pack. Not the Snow that we, I guess, become accustomed to seeing cut through the pack. Jared's having unfortunately, let's have a look. How old's his tracker? That's only a minute old. He's having a shocker, poor fella. Luke Atkinson, sort of similar. They wouldn't be happy being back there, that's for sure. There'd be a serious amount of head noise. Kissa, I was loving watching the battle you and Army had in the M2M. So big congrats on getting Army. I'm sad to see you're not out there for this one, but I think you're quietly happy to not be looking at those conditions. Not that it looks horrible. Like we've done much worse races in Australia. I think Kissa agrees with me there. But yeah, this isn't the M2O that we've come to know in the previous, pretty much since COVID.
Cobber.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
thinking
James,
about the
there's a
guys who do really well. It's a lot of the young guys, the light guys. I did notice Chucho was doing quite well. Just one of the younger guys. He's 22. I can't see where he is now. There he is.
Yeah.
These guys are super. Army, he's a big guy. He's like me, and yeah, I did see that he's kind of struggling. He seems to be going okay now. I do have him on my other screen. I do
Yeah.
watch Army.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a long day for him.
Yeah. No, it's I think the headspace is going to be real tricky because everyone's just assumed, and myself included, I'm not over there, but I always assumed that M2Os generally in the last couple of years been the best downwind conditions out of all the races. And we might go back to Page Arms live and see if that's still running, but this is definitely not the best conditions we've had. So
Hey, Kissa, did you get to the bottom of what's on Kai Lenny's board with that?
No, I didn't. I don't know. I would say I don't know. I mean, the thing with Axis, they've got their. So I was listening to what Jimmy was saying about their protos, but ironically, with their protos are beautiful, but they're with the tempo foils, they kind of complement the foils. So that the way they've done so the guys were sort of using both of those, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of them have gone back to the tempos, which are slightly less aspect than the new protos. So they, like the 1020 and the 1090 would be perfect in these conditions.
so you're saying the lower aspect ones, like the production ones, would be better than the
I
prototypes?
think so. I think
Yeah.
so. So if you look at someone, say like Trent Gordon, Jimmy, and you saw him in the just what he did on that 1020 in the Sydney race,
Yeah.
you would have seen that firsthand how well he went,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, it also. So I won't be surprised if some of those guys are on the tempo rather than the protos.
Yeah. Yeah, which is generally speaking, the prototypes that have been developed are to go faster, not to go slower.
Yeah.
And the conditions that we're seeing here are definitely going to be like you don't want to be having to go too fast on a day like this. You want to be able to kind of slow it down, take a breather, like attack when you can. But yeah,
Well,
one
Jimmy, you
thing.
think about the year you won it, and you won it on the 860.
Yeah.
And that's what I think about these days. I mean, we've come so far, but when you're thinking of tempo as more of a low aspect, safer foil, that just shows where the progression is. And you need something where you can just sort of stay up and you're not doing too much paddle pumping like we can see here. That's exhausting.
Oh yeah, this is it's definitely not what it's not what you would have thought the race was going to be. This actually looks like the Sydney race, Kissa. This looks like the conditions we had for Sydney. And I used a 1250R for that race, and it was a little bit too big, but it was a safety one.
Yeah, I think it's a big, it's a lower aspect, big tail type day.
Yep.
And if you can get the gear right and you can stay on foil and
Morning, girlies.
Morning,
Good
Tim.
morning.
that's Andrea. Is that Andrea at the moment?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Yeah.
can recognize that she's got a massive blade on her paddle.
Yep.
She's got a massive quick blade, and
Yep.
just from that just looks like her.
Yeah. So we'll keep that going. We'll go back to the so Andrea, just to sort of see what we're looking at there. Okay, Andrea's back here. So she's it's a dot live. Yeah, looks like it is. So it's yeah. Let's go back to the front and see what's going on. Looks like it's kind of a similar story. The men have now overtaken Annie, just Trent, Carter, and Finn Spencer, Malay look like they're in the sort of the box seat. Carr, he's been consistently up there too. But yeah, Axel Pham and the North line is leading the way too. Really interesting. I would have thought the Northern line is going to be more advantageous on this one, because basically if we zoom out, when they get closer to the finish, so these guys that are kind of tracking this direction versus the guys that are kind of more tracking this direction, because the wind's north, they can kind of go down if they need to. Whereas for these guys to come back up, they're going to lose time or lose speed. Generally speaking, though, the last couple of years, the southern line has been the option, because the bumps basically allow you to stay out wide, and then at the end you can kind of surf those bumps in fairly easily. But that's been in windy conditions with a lot of bumps. With the north wind coming, it's going to make it really hard to cut in towards the island. It's going to feel more north when you get to Oahu than it will now. So giving yourself a little bit of space, probably, to be honest, on this blue line is where you want to be, because then you've got the option of you sort of hedging your bets. You don't want to be too close to China Wall, because you're going to get a lot of backwash. There's going to be a lot of backwash today with that south swell, and it's just going to be really jumbled water, I feel like. So don't be too close to Oahu as you get close to China Walls, but you definitely don't want to be too far out, because that north wind's going to blow you out. The big interesting one, it's going to be actually super interesting to watch the live as they sort of tune in, especially for the finish, because there's going to be waves breaking, kind of swells breaking all the way sort of along here, and that is going to allow those that are close enough to the reefs to ride them in. But there's going to be lulls in those sets, so if they don't get a set, they could even come down. So this is an exciting one. I'm keen to see how this unfolds.
Hey Jimmy, have you talked about Rye at all? Because I think that he gets conditions like this in Tahiti all the time. He beat Kai over there. I've seen him. He's just such a machine that he's just sitting in a pretty good spot at the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can see everyone sort of lining up now. You got the two Tahitians up north. You got Tom Constant just ahead of Kai Thompson. Guido, Edo's still sort of hanging in. As you said, he caught up quickly, but he's kind of matching the speed of everyone now. Trent, Carter probably leading the guys in the south, with Malay looking like he's doing pretty well, but I'd be a little worried being that far. I would not want to be the furthest south today. That's for sure. There's lots of currents, so we never really know what's going on. But yeah, it's a tricky one. A few questions. Is Kyle Lenny racing today? I believe so. See if we can find him.
He's like there behind Kahi. He's somewhere in there.
Yeah, there he is. So Kyle Lenny's in the mix with Chucho. But yeah, you can see these guys that started 5 minutes behind are actually starting to overtake some of the seeded guys. So it's definitely interesting to see Tibby having not his best. It looks like he might have peaked for M2M rather. Although his dot is a little bit old.
You've
so
got the
maybe
two training partners, Koo and Stanley, or Perth, going at each other right there. That's cool.
Yeah, the Maruba boys. Kiwi will love to get Perth on this one, but I like he's been a bit of funny
Not gonna
headspace for
happen.
Kiwi. Yeah. It'd rattle Perth if Josh got one up on him. That's for sure. Yeah. Let's
I
get
tell
back
you,
to
Perth doesn't like to size up on his foils.
Yeah.
So that's I've done a few big long runs with Perth from Central Coast, and yeah, he doesn't want to size up. So all or nothing for Perth.
Yeah. 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 Stubborn. Stubborn Perth. He'll whereas because Cooey definitely is not afraid of sizing up. I always call him a bit soft, maybe. But he's he's doing all right.
Hey, what has Gabrielle done to herself, Jimmy? Because she's obviously missing.
Yeah, she broke her foot. So
Wow.
she had to have surgery. So she's on crutches at the moment and yeah, not racing.
Hey James, you might want to load up that Armstrong YouTube or the Rogue TV YouTube. They're getting ready to show the start, they're saying.
Yeah, okay, cool.
He's still talking, but they're actually showing what the start looked like.
Yeah, cool. Well,
So maybe 5 minutes or so they'll show it.
Yeah, I'll get that ready on another tab. Keep that on the live from our page arms, which is good. What do we got? Okay, this is it, I think. So let me share this. Okay, so this is them talking, but just showing the start line, so it's a little bit delayed, I guess. But, I think the dot vision is probably the best to watch for the moment, and the Instagram.
Let's look up another guy, Rhett Bonner. Where's he at right now?
Yeah, Rhett was having a bit of a shocker at the start. He was not up when I last looked at him. Rhett's actually, I've done a bunch of coaching with Rhett before, so I am keen to see how he's going. He's a good fella. He actually checked in on my. He's a doctor and he was asking how my back was. So yeah, there's Rhett. 3.7 miles per hour. The dot's a little bit old, so like sort of looks like it's 4-5 minutes old. He's not having a good day, that's for sure.
Not having a good day.
That's a bit of a shame actually. I spent a bit of time with Rhett, and he had such a good M2M.
Yeah,
he was super pumped about that. But again, bigger guy. It's going to be a tough day for him.
Yeah, he's definitely a bigger guy.
Where are you
Adam
going?
and Guido fighting out in front now.
And then where are you going?
There was a
what is the service called?
I'm gonna look that are sort of talking. I'm not sure if they're meaning to. Aaron Vieira looking for a boat wake to ride it there. Yeah, interesting that the one year they sort of seemed to fix the boat wake issue. They probably want the boat wakes out there, so they've definitely made it safer for everyone. But yeah, with the lighter conditions, they're probably not as they're not as the boat wake's less of an issue, I guess, at this stage anyway. Frankie making a push. Who's this here? Yeah, Frankie definitely. That's he's definitely right up there into the mix. Who else we got? Kane's coming back too. Yeah, this is great. Thanks for updating me, guys. Let's have a look. Where is Kane? Surely not back there. There he is. Yeah, Kane's back up into the front pack. He was having a bit of a shocker earlier on, and it looks like he's moving now. So we click on Kane, 20 miles per hour. That's a good speed to be doing today. Edo not quite as fast. Gita a little bit quicker. Rye a bit slower, and Axel a bit down on speed. It's going to be really this is a tight race. I wouldn't really say anyone's like front running. Not consistently anyway. So Axel probably is, I would say, in the best position. Any dark horses in the second heat? Yeah, I'd say Frankie's a dark horse, and I'd say Adam Snow as well. But Johnny Sobrani looks like he's doing pretty well as well in that green pack. Richard Gordon, who I don't know Richard Gordon, but he's been consistent there, so I'm going to star him. Keep an eye on how he's going. Um, John Mann, keep an eye on him too. Um,
Yeah, jump back to the Armstrong. I think they'll show the start right now.
Cool. Where was it? Yeah, right. So we can have a look back at what the start was looking like. I might just try to make this big screen.
Yeah, Richie's a friend of Cole's based in Seattle, so also a difficult place to train.
Yeah, so he'll know how to grind. Yeah, thanks, Andy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, this is so crazy to see the conditions like this for the biggest race of the year. You know,
Forgot about doing this, but this is the bag.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, there's. I guess if we're to look at what would you be looking to paddle up on? This is probably a good one to analyze. I'll do it in red. So that um, there's these tiny little. You kind of see these swells running. Um, Unfortunately, that's Molokai. You know, so they actually want to be going this direction. I'm not 100% sure on that, but the fact that everyone's facing that way, they're going to be paddling up that way. They're going to have to surf these bumps around the corner, which is, man, it just doesn't look like anything's going the direction that they want to be going at this stage. That's a really good insight into, you know, what we're looking at, well, what everyone's looking at for the race. Man, that is wild, you know, really crazy. That the drone view really shows you, you know, where the bumps are running, and that's not good. That's not the direction you want to be going. I can guarantee you that. So we'll keep watching for a little longer. Looks like the races. These guys are up and standing, so they got the green flag running. So this is the race start for the
That's
women.
the women's start, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, they're kind of going. So Annie's up and going there, and you can see she got up going with the swells, sort of with the swells, but now she's cutting across them as she goes. And that's the beauty. Like, to be doing this on a SUP or a prone paddleboard, you would not be able to tap into the swells because you'd be going the wrong direction. You can see the angles that Annie's traversing on these bumps. She is able to go the direction she needs to go, but it does mean she's got to cut the entire time, which is why I see quite a spread. You know, that's why I'm saying Molokai being further south is kind of not where you want to be, because he's probably taking too many of these swells straight and not turning across them enough. Definitely bumps to ride, but not, they're kind of swells. You know, they're not really, there's not much short period energy. And this is the issue with the larger south swell M2Os, is that the south swell kind of prevents the wind from happening, and it also prevents the any wind that does form. It stops the shorter period bumps from you know, getting up and going. Just saw Tomoko there going for a paddle up, and that was hard to watch out. Like, it's going to be a long day for Tomo. She's from Maui, and these are not the conditions that she's used to, unfortunately. Big fan of Tomoko, but it's going to be a hard one for her today. For everyone, to be honest, but especially those that sort of only wait for you know, your 15 to 20 knots to train. So man, this is looking very much like home in Sydney for you and I, Kissa, which is, yeah, generally not what you hope for you know, a race in Hawaii. It's not what you train for anyway.
Would you still carry a full bladder of water if it's going to be like this?
You kind of have to, because you're going to be out there for longer. You need to stay hydrated. You're going to be working. Your heart rate's going to be higher. I guess doesn't look like it's as hot because the sun isn't out, but it's probably humid as. So I think that you're going to have to carry some water. See some boat wash coming at Tomoko. That's really what you don't want. That's the whole problem with the boat wash. She's fallen off because of a boat, which is, you know, I hate seeing that. You know, that's not really a fair race. But you need safety boats out there, and unfortunately, that's just the way. it's hard to prevent it. Yeah, here's the men's start. You can see them all, a few more people getting up and going, all sort of riding that one swell. And again, they're sort of getting up with it. And you can see as soon as they get up and going, they're cutting across, which is what they're going to have to do the whole way. Kailani just here. Looks like
That's Kai Thompson in front.
yeah. Who else we got?
I was
Kai
trying to
Thompson.
watch and see if Kai's going to throw
board is
weight on the
trend.
nose of his board. I don't see it.
Yeah, he doesn't have his dangly, whatever that thing was, the camera or
His snorkel.
ready to go under.
James, do you reckon that's a part of that app that he's trying to launch? Maybe it's a GPS data or something that he's trying to collect some data with that
Yeah, it could be
antenna?
for sure. Yeah, the Venturi guys have been pushing and Kai's been helping out with that. So definitely there's a good chance that is to do with it. You can see how I guess like you watch these guys and this is well and truly like it's a race. There's nothing wrong with like the conditions, like they're all flying. It definitely shows, the top guys are definitely making these, I guess, subpar conditions very much doable. You see Kai Thompson really coming towards camera, which is north. A lot of guys are also like sort of just taking the bumps that are on offer and going a bit further south. I'd definitely be trying to do what Kai's doing. That extra space that he's got allows him to then take the bumps if he was to struggle a little. So you can see the bumps are kind of going this way and Kai's surfing him sort of across this way. It's pretty crazy.
Now, you were going to have an escort boat if you ran it, right? So these conditions, there's the boats. When is your boat coming to meet you? Is it cutting guys off to get to you, or does it have to wait a while?
They've got to wait a while. So I think there's like a 2-3 mile kind of sort of period where the escort boats have to stay south of everyone. Today is going to be interesting because everyone's going to be quite stretched out, and they've got to do their best to not ruin other people's lines, but also it's going to be tricky to not in some ways because it's smoother. The boat washes aren't going to be as big an issue as what they were in previous years when it's really big conditions and the boats have to go faster. They've got to sort of they're making more of a mess because they've got to bounce up and over all the bumps. So it's tricky to see, I guess, what it's doing. I've just gotten a few updates from Caitlin Baxter. So I might maybe when this is all pretty good footage, so I think we stick with this for the moment. Look at that big bump. So someone's locked onto a nice big ground swell. And you can see they're not quite able to keep up with them. See how they're moving a little bit too fast? That's the issue with I guess these conditions is you've got to use quite a small foil to keep up with the big fast swells. But how do you get your small foil up and going in these sorts of conditions? So that is the predicament that all the athletes are in. It's super tricky. I'll see if I can get the dot vision up as well, because I think it would be good to have both.
Aaron just posted the wind meters in the chat. It's only 12 right there off the point of Molokai.
Yeah. Yeah, far out. It'd be hard for the wingers, especially. I would say more difficult for the wingers today than anyone else.
So when you say
every time
12,
I check on them, they're not moving.
Is that 12 knots or 12 miles?
Those are miles per hour, sadly.
Right. That's pretty light.
I think we should definitely coming back to the front of the pack. We're hitting the almost 15-mile mark. I guess that's a quarter of the way in. More like a third of the way in. And similar story. Edo's sort of surged ahead of Guido. Kai Thompson's come down to the south to sort of match Edo's line. Axel's still in a pretty good spot, I'd say. I honestly think that this blue line is pretty spot on if you were to follow any of them. You can see Kahi, Andrew Gibbons, Malate, Kanda Wild. Kanda Wild dropping a long way south. He's losing a bit of ground. He's sort of conceding just to keep up, I think. I still really like the Tahitian boys up north and Tom Constant, the French contingent, I guess. They're looking good up there. And they're gonna then it's gonna have to be a little bit careful not to stay too far north as they get closer to um I guess, Port Lock. There can be a bit of a change in conditions and you get a lot of backwash. Maybe not so much today because the wind isn't blowing so strong, but if we have a look at conditions, we've got, so is this live? Double check it is. Give it a refresh. Yeah, so 11 at sort of Hawaii Kai sort of area. It's like AD's kind of stretch.
That yellow sensor was reading 7.
Very north. Yeah. That's a good one. If it is I doubt it's doing that window. But yeah, all across the island you can see it's sort of northeast, which is not the direction for an easy finish. And that's a better read. So 12 at Molokai. That's all miles per hour. Let's head back to the dots. Just loading again. Yeah, this is all. Yeah, the fact that I guess it was probably worth going back to this again. We got a bit of. You can see how you can see the texture. Like there's still, like if I pause it here, you can see like there's bumps. There's bumps that you can utilize all the way along here. So the wind.
The wingers are about to start on this video.
Yeah, right. So the wind strength isn't so good, basically, but the texture in the ocean is more than enough. So yeah, you can see the wingers are up and going. So the fact that they get some of these are some of the best wingers in the world, I would say, and they'd all be on big gear, but definitely have sized up foils just to make sure they're up and going for a lot of the run. It's especially and to go downwind in these lighter conditions, super tricky with the wing. They might even be better off kind of flagging the wing and riding the bumps than they would be sort of, traditional sailing, which is definitely not what it's been the last little bit. Still, yeah, it's a big wing. Can't really see what foil they're using, but super tricky, I would say. Yeah, it's a quick check back on the live dots.
Safety boat 4 is next to Nathan Florence.
Oh, to pick him up or what?
I don't know. His dot's next to the safety boat though.
Yeah.
Right there by Galvin David. Like if you zoom in there, you'll see him. Next to Brady Hurley, if you have him up.
Yeah.
Nathan has like a purple dot. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, he might be jumping on board. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few people do that today. It's just not what a lot of people would have trained for,
Hey Jimmy, I was just looking at one of the movers in the top 20 has been Trent Gordon, and
Yes.
he's moving through the field. He's now on 17th, and he's one of those guys. He's light, he's really good. This is perfect for him. So
Yeah.
he could be a bit of a dark horse for, getting close to top 10.
Yeah, for sure. I was saying that earlier. I think he's one that's trained really hard, and the conditions that he's in is that he trains in is just kind of like this. So the only concern is he's a little bit far south, which might mean he's sort of taken a few too many and not sort of cutting north. Really, I think Kai Thompson's in a really good spot there. Where was Edo? His dot must
Edo's fallen back.
Yeah, I wonder if his dot is 4 minutes old, so I'd say he's still in the same place. Just his track.
I've got Edo just behind Kai on my screen, right ahead of Annie.
Yeah, I wonder if. Yeah, sometimes it just needs a bit of a refresh, but yeah, Finn Spencer's one I really like. Again, he's like one of the lighter guys, and he's fit. Like he's done Ironman sort of. I think he did like the Kona Ironman last year. just for fun. So he's young too, so I think he's one to watch. And he's doing great. I think Ange, you're right. And he's absolutely smashing it. She's right up there with the men, like the top 10 of the men, ahead of Jeffrey. She trains with Jeffrey and Finn a lot. So um, Trent Carter. Let's see if his dot's live because he was right up there, wasn't he? Looks like his dot's 23 minutes old, so I'd say he's still up there in that front pack. It's just not lagging dot. Yeah, he'd probably still be up in that front pack if the dot was live.
Josh Koo and Luke Atkinson right next to each other, probably just talking and having fun about how hard it is.
Yeah, or they'd be swearing at each other, I reckon. This is fact. Down the Aussie boys, that's not what they love. They love the big bumps, those two especially. Ryan Kim, he's actually one to watch too. He's a hammer, and he loves a grind. He did one of the lightest last year. He went out, did a Hawaii Kai run. There wasn't a bump in sight. He basically pumped the whole way. So definitely one to watch. Thomas Goyard, I kind of had a hope that he'd be right up there in these lighter conditions, but he's having a bit of a hard time if that's live. 7 minutes ago, so he's doing a bit better than that. But
Hey, Jimmy, do we know the forecast for the wind?
it was always forecast to be a little bit more north, and it's light. So I'll open it up now and show you. But this is I guess the wind forecast. It's, I guess green is sort of 12 knots, or sorry, 12 miles per hour, and it's the live readings are saying exactly that. So it's on the lighter side of things and more from the north. So the finish especially, there's going to be movement all the way across the channel, but especially towards the finish. So yeah, we've got some ads going on here. Let's keep to the live then. See if I think this is still live. Similar story. We just got sort of wobbly grey ocean. Yeah, this is kind of the same old story, really, isn't it?
Gabriella is live.
Oh, Gabriella is too. I don't know why I can't click on that. But yeah, Alan sort of sent through some comparisons. So just to see times last year, the guys are doing 156, 157, so a lot of sub twos. And the women sort of at sort of the 220 sort of mark. I think we're gonna see a bit of a change in that. Basically Annie's right up there in the top pack. We can probably, that doesn't mean, I guess is Annie going slower as well, or is everyone a bit closer today because there's less of those big bumps? It's sort of hard to say. But yeah, we can see if I can find Gabby's live as well. So I guess Gabby would be on Edo's boat, huh?
Trent Carter's dot just came back live. He's ahead of Finn Spencer, like fifth back, or basically right in the front line.
Yeah. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So this is up in the front pack, and there's the dog. Show us the water, Gabby. Okay, so they're
Hey,
they're
Matt,
waving.
I'll type on there and tell her we're watching her footage.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like it's frozen. It's really tricky. We'll keep it up there, but we'll keep jumping between. So you said yeah, Trent Carter's back up there. Interesting. I thought Andrew Gibbons was leading there for a moment. All the dots sort of reloading after it hasn't been on the screen. Yeah, Trent Carter up in the lead now, potentially, as he kind of was. So definitely that dot was old before that. I'm interested to see what happens with Axel. He was right up the front, and is he still? Um, his dot is 1 minute old based on this. Annie falling away a little bit, or the men surging. Looks like her dot's a minute old too, so hard to say.
She's been
Edo,
right there behind Edo the whole time, so she's still holding on.
Edo's dot's 10 minutes old, so it'd be interesting to see where his dot ends up after it sort of reloads.
Look
Man,
at the women. Annie's holding on, but Andrea Muller was second up. She's in third for the women now, I think.
yeah. Naomi has made a bit of a surge too, like more on that sort of southern line, but she's caught. Well, I guess Annie's dot's a little bit old, but she has surged a little. Edo's dot 11 minutes old, so don't want to put
So
too much.
Jimmy, just for something different, just watching the wings and Livio looks like he's in the lead, which is massive for him.
Yeah, yeah, Livio, the old boy. He's
Yeah.
I've been racing Livio forever, and I was always gave him a hard time when he was winging and not sort of doing the sup foiling, but he's a serious waterman, and looks like Livio and Franco or Marley are pretty close there. Livio well, I'm not sure with the wing if it's a better line to be further north, but I kind of don't really see too much downside to it. Matthew Hume, Patrick Salmon, Carolina. Yeah, it'd be an interesting race to watch. That's for sure. The wingers. Interesting also, I guess we'll keep an eye on Annie and Naomi, but Naomi's definitely surging in that southern line. It'd be interesting to see, like, in these conditions, if the wind's light enough, it may not make too much of a difference. And maybe the guys in the south line, can tap into swells and sort of use the swells to come back towards Oahu. Maybe the wind's too strong and it prevents them from doing that. But we don't really know.
Show us the angles you would imagine the south swells to be running versus what the wind swell should be doing with the northwest wind.
Yeah, so the only year I've done M2O with the south swell, there were like basically waves breaking like through here at Portlock, like straight into shore like this. So out to sea, you never really felt it because it was really deep out here. But looking like there would probably be waves breaking, sort of, or it gets shallower out here. So if you can get to here, like sort of close enough to this blue line, you're probably going to be able to tap into some of that energy, but it's getting to there because the wind is going to feel like that direction, more northerly and quite smooth. So yeah, it's going to be tricky for them. As long as if they can get in close enough, they'll probably be able to tap into the swells. But if they're just a little bit outside, it's going to be tough for them, to get in, and it may mean like it may mean they come down, have to paddle, and to paddle back up to get going, they're probably going to have to go this way again. So you might be on your stomach for a little bit and then paddle up that way and then sort of surge in and cut in against the wind with the swell. So it's
maybe Molokai to Oahu. I don't know how long it is, but there's a whole bunch of people in it. And they got live trackers on them.
the summary of what's going on here. So we're getting close to. I guess we're
Kane made it almost back to the very, very front.
Yeah, still far south though. Carter, Andrew, Edo's dots must be frozen, huh? 14 minutes ago. Yeah, really bummer to see the top guys.
What's allowing like Edo and Kane to be that far back and then work through the pack where the front just reel in the front guys? Why aren't the front guys that fast? Because they don't have anyone to chase?
It definitely is a bit of that. Like having that sort of dangling the carrot does sort of help you a little, but it can, if you don't catch them, it's actually mentally works against you. So I'd prefer to be at the front. And probably two things: they're not having to chase as much, but the other thing is they're also they don't have to work as hard. So they'll be leaving a little more in the tank. Kane and Edo got to push. Like if you're behind, you got to push to get to that mark. And when you get there, you try to keep going. Whereas the guys at the front, they're not. I wouldn't say they're cruising, but they definitely won't be having to work quite as hard because they're like, well, I'm in a good position here. If someone catches up, I can then change gears and start to push a little harder, which is something. If you're out the front, it's kind of best to keep pushing. But yeah.
And who can see each other, these groups? Like Kai and Guido, they can see each other. Axel and Riari, they can see each other. But like, would
Yeah.
Tom Constance be able to see them?
Yeah, Tom should be able to see them out in front. Probably just be able to see Kai Thompson as well. He wouldn't know who it is, but okay, Edo's dot's just updated. He's between Guido and Kai. The head of Guido and Kai now. So the champ that he is, he's pushing as he gets closer to the finish, and yeah, looks like he's the front runner up now, and I like his line too. So Axel and Rye still have a bit of an advantage. They can kind of drop down and sort of utilize those swells
to Oahu
to get up ahead. But yeah,
they just paddle their board like my big KT.
It's
A4. Oh, there you go. Got it.
Yeah, it's whereas even though these guys are up ahead in some ways, like Kane, I just being that far south, he's taking a risk. He's doing everything to stay in touch with the front pack, is what I'd say. I wouldn't say he's in the perfect spot. We'll see if Gabby's live's working. I think this is not actually alive anymore. This is the same video. So
that man that we've just been talking about, Rodri, was the Ballon d'Or winner. What chance Rodri being Ballon d'Or again? These are the odds currently. He's joint favourite with Lamine Yamal at 3-1, with Harry Kane at 5-1.
This is
I thought it was running the odds for us for the race, but it sounded like for the soccer, for the football. So yeah, Edo, he's pushing to get to the front, and he's, as much as I said, it doesn't make it as much in Edo's favour, these conditions. I think he's such a champ that he's trained hard. He's trained all conditions. He's fit. He's looking good. He's up the front even after that sort of bit of a poor start. We'll see if we get back to the live. This is looking at last year's finish.
I've got the Road TV up. They're just showing packages still. They're only going to guy in the boat, but they're not showing the conditions.
Gotcha.
Look at the third winger back. That's just everyman guy from Oahu. Guy's charging. He's like right by Moss Hobie, probably. Hobie Moss. Right there by Shea.
Yeah.
At the top line. There you go, that guy.
Matthew. Yeah, Matthew.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's Is Livio still? Yeah, Livio's really taken that north. It's probably actually the wind. If the wind is more north, it's not so bad for the wingers. They can kind of just cut across. If with our wind this direction, the wingers can kind of cut across like this, which is a bit of an advantage, I guess, for the wings. But the wind's light, so just staying up on four is probably a bit of a tricky one for him.
I was just jumping back to see where Rod Stellick was, because in that wing area, he's a top 3, top 4 guy, and there seems to be a number of the wingers, they just didn't get going. They're north of Ilio Point. They're just, dozen of them stuck up the top there. They're not moving.
Yeah, let's zoom out and have a look
Scary.
at that. Yeah, yeah. Look at all these guys: Tatiana, Philippe, Mike Worrell, Bobo. Even Bobo Gallagher's I think did he win it last year, or like he's always up there on the podium. That's for sure. He wins
I
some of
think
the
he won
races.
M2M.
Yeah, Robert Stellick. Yeah, these are guys that.
And
Yeah,
Stellick races like on an 8-meter, so if he's not going,
Yeah,
light.
it's light. Alan's reporting in that Edo's getting a lot more pace than everyone else, so he's at let's get his speeds 20 miles per hour. Rise at 15, Axel 17, Guido 17, Kai Thompson 19, Trent Carter 18, Malay 21. So I don't know, definitely everyone's moving. But yeah, Edo definitely seems to be pulling away at the moment, creating a bit more of a gap between him and everyone else. Live
Hey, James,
Brian in the
one
race.
of the, one of the commentators on the boat said that in the middle of the channel at the high tide, the bumps are definitely getting better, and I think that's what we see, is that the front pack is kind of hitting that maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're definitely they're getting close. Like they'll be starting to feel a bit of like Oahu sort of style bumps. It's it'll change. But yeah, that south swell is always such a curveball to see what it actually does, you know. And the currents, it'll change it up. As it gets shallower, I do expect it to get a little better for them, just for those I don't know, just a little more like the shallower water allows the bumps to stand up a little bit more. The deep water sort of flattens them off. And when it's really windy, having deep water can be good, but when it's not so windy, kind of shallow water is a bit of a better thing.
Ah, bien.
Yeah, interesting. So where's Kane? Kane's in that sort of top pack. I want to double check where Jared Snow is actually, because he was having not the best race earlier, but yeah, he's back there. He's behind Army Armstrong, John Mann, Ryan Kim. He's in that sort of pack. Adam Snow's still up there, leading the green dots by the looks of things, which is a great effort from him. Tibby having a bit of a hard time compared to M2M anyway.
Is Adam ever going to let him live down leaving code to ride something else for this race?
I think I'm cheering for Adam. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jared, but you know we're good mates. But it's yeah, we had long discussions, and it allowed him to get to a few more races, which was cool. But
Hey,
yeah,
Ginny, so do you think I'm just looking at the distance here at 20 miles they've gone. I'm thinking that's 2/3 of the way through the race.
yeah. Well, it's what 35? Well, it must be like 37, 38
All right.
miles. Yeah. So yeah, past halfway for sure. Or Edo is anyway. Yeah, it's yeah, it gets us right in the middle of the race. If it's a 38 mile or at just under 20. Yeah, Adam and Frankie having a really good race. It'd be interesting actually to see because the green dots gave the orange dots 5 minute head start. So I wonder how they're going to adjust those times. Obviously, they're going to have to adjust the times. It's not exactly a completely fair race that, but Adam would probably be in virtual, you know, maybe up in this sort of zone, you know, at least maybe a little bit further forward. He could be virtually in the front pack, you know, so he could be virtual top 20 at this point here, which is a bit unfortunate that guys that are doing that well weren't in that front pack. But you know, they got to try to split up to sort of make the boat wash not so bad, and it is what it is. You can never. Someone could have a standout race, others could have a bad race. So it's that happens. Annie,
I reckon it'll at this point it'll start to show how hard you've worked to get to this point. Like if you've had to, you know, do your tank to get up that small foil, you got good pace now. But if you've used up like a lot of your energy stores and you've been a lot more anaerobic than normal, that lactate's going to start building soon. So the last third's really going to show who's got the conditioning to keep pushing.
yeah, the cracks are going to start to form as you get longer and longer into the race, and it'd be really interesting to see what Hawaii Kai looks like right now. And we might be able to bring up some sort of surf line images.
All these guys would have done these conditions, no problems, but whether they've done 62 kilometers of it, that's the question.
Yeah, I remember I saw Adrian Destang, is French, but he lives in Byron Bay, and he did a really light sort of northwest wind. He did about 40, 50 kilometers, and it was probably a little bit worse conditions than what they've got here, you know, today. Yeah. So it's I'd say he's definitely got plenty in the tank. See if we got some live from Gabby. Looks like it's not quite working. But yeah, definitely everyone's put in the hard yards. It's just how often they put in the hard yards. See if we got Paige still alive. It's like not anymore. I do have some updates from yeah, so we'll have a look. This is from Adam Snow's boat, so we'll share that.
Caught up to the riders. We got Adam in front of us there. The unescorted went about 5 minutes before, and the escorted have just gone now. super duper light winds. A lot of guys coming down and pumping very hard. They've taken a pretty left line so far because that's where the swells seem to be going. So yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what we thought.
Looking like such hard conditions.
Stuff.
Oh, he's pumping that whole time. They won't be getting many breaks across.
Yeah, the good news is the boat wash doesn't look like an issue this year. The bad
Going in front.
I
There's
think
still
they'd take boat wash with wind,
riding
mate.
this swell that's coming through. Kyle Lenny just went past then. I think I'd say maybe mid-pack where we are now. I'm not sure what the best line is here, whether it's ride with the swell and try and cut back. A bit of a rain squall that just went through, so maybe that's damaging the conditions, but it looks very tough out there.
Yeah, that looks worse than what it did at the start at this point. That was a little while ago, and then this is the latest update. So really good bit of insight there from Katie on the boat following Adam. So Adam's here, so you can see there's a bit of look. It looks like it's more people around than what we saw, huh? Not many people around him at all. It'd be good to get some updates from at the front here and what it's looking like. But yeah, some good insight. I might see if a few questions. Charlie Verco sitting at the finish. Diamond Head Buoy is a tiny bit of white capping, but very light. Heaps of swell though, so the swells might help them. Thanks for the update, Charlie. You're a legend. Heart rates are going to be right up there, Tibbo. They're going to be working real hard. Sufferfest. And yeah, it's what's the over under on DNFs rescues? So yeah, I think there'll be at least one or two DNFs. I feel like today. That's for sure. So you guys couldn't hear the sound on that from that update from Katie, I gather from the comments, but I'll
Hey
see.
Jimmy, looking at Adam there and his pumping, he looked like he had his foil size right. It was just small pumps. He wasn't close to using his paddle. He actually looked really good that compared to some of the others we've seen.
Yeah, no, he looked good. Okay, I've got some updates from Larry, so I'm gonna.
All right, guys, enough.
This is obviously on Kai Thompson's boat. So let's see.
Update. We're about maybe 10 minutes into the race here. Crazy start, almost a flat water start. It was insane. Pack spread out a bit, and because we're not an actual escort boat, we're sort of sitting wide so we don't disrupt anyone's race. But I think we're about 10 minutes in. It looks like Kai's up the front. Kai Thompson's close to the front at least with Thrive Fattier. He's up there. I saw Axel Pham's name in the mix. I think I saw Guido up there as well. And it's a glassy slog fest out here. I'm not sure if you can see it in the background, guys, but it's so sick to see the foils now. Like, these guys are actually cruising, and we're in sheet glass. I mean, what a day to be on a boat. So I hope you're all enjoying the feed with James in cyberspace, everybody. And we'll try and touch base a little later in the race. But, it starts underway. It's all happening here in the M2O 2026 in the Channel of Bones. But it's the Channel of Glass at the moment. Enjoy, everyone.
So a good bit of insight there from Larry, saying how glassy it is, and a nice day to be on a boat is not a nice day to be racing across the channel, unfortunately for the crew. Yeah, we got 3 more updates from him, so we'll keep seeing what he's got.
Right, what's up, James, and everyone watching online? How are you? So what are we, like 20 odd minutes in now? I think Axel Pham's up front. Looks also like maybe Trent Carter doing really good. Guido's up there as usual. We're cruising with Kai Thompson. You can just see over my shoulder here. He's sort of back a little bit. He's sized up on the wing, man. It's so glassy out here. Crazy to see. Where's all the Frenchies? We got Tom Constant out here. He's also doing really amazing right now. Just ahead of Tom, we've got Rayari Fattier, the Tahitian rider. And further beyond that is Axel Pham. So those guys are taking a really, really north line. And as it spreads back, we've got Kai here. He's kind of mid, I reckon. Beyond that, Trent Carter. Edo back here somewhere, not too far behind, always lurking. So, man, so much can happen still, and I'm super fascinated on this, just the way that this is all panning out the channel. The glassy conditions are allowing us to sit right next to the riders and like see the look on their faces. Like, man, it's like so glassy, it's insane, and just to watch them push through and try and make energy out of this is incredible effort, and still so far to go. So, Oahu under that big rain cloud down there, can't even see it yet. So, stay tuned. Shit's about to go down, guys.
We'll keep looking through the updates from.
All right, another live update here in the middle of the Kaiti channel, the channel of bones. And apologies before I forgot I was naked. I put a shirt on. Tahitian Rayari Valier, you're battling for the lead just ahead of him. Fellow Tahitian is Axel Pham. These guys on the northern line, which seems to be working. They're absolutely cranking at the moment. Now, that way, we've got a battle underway. We've got Edo Tanis, of course, red hot favourite, and Guido Ferrer. Those guys are hammering it down that way. So, field has split a little.
Probably should call them to the room.
Go, mate. Absolutely on one. These guys locked in. Got a little more texture on the water now. Kind of almost towards the middle part of this channel. And a lot more energy. That's what we saw at the front. That was just wild laugh. So, it's sick to be able to see these guys actually flow right, like the way they intended down. So, more energy under the riders. Maybe they can change strategy. I'm not sure. But we got Ryan Fatio and Axel Pham. Maybe a mile or so ahead. So it's a bit of a battle here with our team. Tahiti up there. Hope everyone's loving it. Put that Jim on the live feed. And let's keep going.
So good, another good update. I'm going to save the last two. I just want to have another check back on the dots. I think sort of getting to the pointy end, they're approaching Portlock. There are a few more updates. So just want to check. Edo looks like he's sort of pushed ahead a little further. You know, the only person really in the same ballpark as Edo right now is, I don't know, maybe Guido. You know, Trent Carter maybe. Molokai. Just double check all the dots are live. Yeah, that's updated. Kai Thompson fallen away a little, 2 seconds updated, so that's all good. Edo's 5 seconds. Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, sorry to interrupt. I think Gabrielle is live right now.
Oh, great. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. That's perfect. Getting close to
Let's go. Come on.
Don't know why it's doing that, one more time. There we go. All right. So definitely some more texture as they've gotten closer to Oahu. We'll just swing back to just double check where Kane is. Yeah, so Kane's just south of Kai and just behind Trent. You can see the dog, the dog again. And I might, let's just go back. I think we have a look at it. Good to see an update in conditions. Definitely looks like it's definitely more texture. So you're gonna, I guess at this point, a smaller foil, you're gonna really make the most of these conditions. Looks like it is, you know, half decent bumps compared to, you know, that stuff we saw from Shannon just before. Let's get back to the last couple of updates from Shannon on the WhatsApp.
All right, James, I got some footage here. We're riding with Rayari Fatio from Tahiti. He's currently, I think, in second last time I checked, or roughly about that. Hunting down Axel, also fellow countryman from Tahiti. So bit of a battle unfolding. And just with his update, there's definitely more energy in the water now, which is really sick to see. So Ryan's actually starting to bomb down a few swells. And sorry for the shaky footage. It's pretty gnarly up the front of the boat now. But yeah, good times. Enjoy.
Okay, and then the last update from Shannon.
Rightio, another one. I don't even know how far we are or how far to go. But we can clearly see Oahu in the distance now. And we're riding live right up the pointy end. In the background, you can see Rayari Afadier from Tahiti. And we're following him. He's one of our Axis riders. Really cool to see him up front. Now, you may also be able to see back in the distance here the other Tahitian Axel fam. So these two have been battling since the start. They took the north line. They took a really early lead over the whole pack. Now it's getting absolutely hectic. We've got a bit better wind now, better bumps, as you can see. I'm getting airborne. And we got right here. It's absolutely insane. He's taking the time now to have a drink. To the south now from us, I can see the boat of Edo Tanis, and let's not rule that guy out, right? He's still going to be hot favourite to take this out. I think on the dot tracker, it's showing Edo a little further ahead of these guys on the that southern line. So who knows by the end of this who's made the right decision? It's going to come down to it. But I think, James, I heard you say in another feed earlier that as much as we all love Edo, seeing someone take him down would just be a monster feat. So if someone can get the job done, that's going to be worth celebrating. And even if Edo goes to 3-peat, that'd be bloody nuts as well. So glorious out here in the Clayton channel, everybody. And I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you can even actually hear me. I'll tune in again soon. Let's go.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. Shannon's doing some great updates, and he's right up there with he was with Rye, so that's probably the boat that he's on, that safety boat 8, or something like that. Very interesting, this part of the race now. A lot can change here. Everyone sort of converges as we get to Oahu. And yeah, man, it's Edo's. He's showing his class. Honestly, he's surging ahead. I really like his line. Maybe a little bit south, just only because of that north wind. I'm saying that. Generally speaking, like in previous years, he's been further south from my understanding. So yeah, it's super interesting to see all the different lines that are being taken. The yeah, man, what was in there? Yeah, so it looks to me like Edo's the one to beat from here. He's going to have to make probably a bit of a mistake to be caught. I worry a little bit for these guys being Trent Carter, Malay. It looks like at a media boat there as well. Kane to Wild. Is that live? Refresh this. Sorry, guys. Yeah, looks like Kane is, yeah, it's live and pretty good speeds. Axel, it'd be interesting to see what happens here. I honestly think these guys are on the best line. That mid line looks best to me. Live wins. We've got give that a refresh, and it's looking light. And north, super north, So that's going to play a part. And that's why I'm saying the guys that are further south could have a bit of an issue. And even Edo, to be honest, when you zoom out a bit more, we can kind of see like he's more on that southern line than northern line. The tide makes plays a big factor as well for the Hawaii Kai run. The incoming flattens the bumps out, makes it faster. The outgoing tide makes it stand up a little more. I don't know what the tides are doing. So if someone out there does have a tide chart in front of them, that'd be super beneficial. It sort of gives a bit of a read of what is going to happen. Because if it is incoming tide, you probably do want to be further out. So yeah. Yeah, man, it's getting to the pointy end, that's for sure. And let's have a look back at the women's too. Annie Reichardt, well and truly in that mix. She's, kind of sitting in the top 30 of the men. She's kind of got daylight. Naomi's actually not too far back, to be honest. She's just here with Frankie behind Kai Lenny. So, but a much more southern line. That's a risky one. She's trying to keep Annie in her sights probably, but yeah, very, very, very south. Even more so than Molokai and Kana.
Surfline's got the tide in Oahu or in Waikiki at 1.2 feet and falling to a 0.9 at 3:52 p.m. So it's almost low right now.
Yeah. Okay, so it's outgoing right now, which I guess does bode well for the bumps.
Oh, and go back to Rogue TV.
Rogue TV's back on, is it? Okay. So
And it was such a hammer.
It's insane.
Yeah, this is Edo. This is live. This is cool. He's looks like he's rounding.
It's doing a side.
Got a watch party.
Looks like he's definitely come around the corner now, like hitting the island, and yeah, the bump's looking great. Edo's looking good too. I think he's I haven't actually seen much of him foiling because obviously been over here on, I guess, not on F1 gear, so he's looking good. He's looking comfy. He's still working. Definitely, it doesn't look like he's maxed out speed wise. Like he's nursing it a little for height. He's trying to find that sweet spot. And that's that sort of acceleration speed pump that he's got. So yeah, just a quick, what we're looking at is Edo at the front here, and pretty much there's a big gap. There's not many people, like the media boat must be here filming this way, so you can see the ADs sort of run behind him. And yeah, he's looking comfy.
He looks like he's taken a great line, Jimmy. So he's off Coco Head there and probably 30 minutes from the finish.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Looks like he's on a great line.
And it looks like he has plenty of time to rest, so he's not gonna crash out, right?
Yeah, like if there's that pause between when he's not pumping, plus the size of these bumps, it's going to be hard for people to catch up to Edo now that he's out in front and the conditions have gotten better, I would say. Edo definitely knows how to milk the conditions, but also when it's big, he's shown that when it's bombing, he's especially hard to beat. So I would say it's Edo's to lose from here. He's looking real good, looking comfy, standing tall there, and gliding along.
Can you believe he's in the lead after his bad start?
I can definitely. He's so good in this channel. The year 2023 when I won, 15 minutes he took to get going, and he overtook me. Coming in, and I didn't even fall until I got there. He'd overtaken me before, so he's if anyone's going to maximize the speed through the KV channel, it's Edo. And yeah, I think his line's looking really nice. He's sort of coming around here. It's got China Wall just to the left here. This is like the iconic, like whenever you're paddling or foiling towards Oahu, you always see this, I guess, this volcanic rock, I guess, the really cool texture. So it's standing tall there, gliding. It looks like he could do it for another hour and a half, I reckon, looking the way he's looking good.
All right, James, you probably won't do it yourself, but you got 182 participants in here. Give them the pitch. Tell them what you're going to do Thursday.
Thursday? Talk back Tuesday. I'm doing a coaching call going through all the, like, I guess, looking at everyone's lines, but also have our Coach Casey Club stuff where we go through like all downwind foiling, how to get better. We go through pumping like this, like why is Edo so efficient, and looking at, even just how he's bending both knees. He's not either the angle of his board's always quite flat. We look at all the technical stuff of foiling, and yeah.
Who's your special guest planned?
Edo, we're trying to get on for sure, but we've tried to get him on twice now, and he's been very focused with the racing. So he's committed to it, but then obviously overcommitted, and we'll try to get him on for the call, but he might be a bit dusty after a few celebrations potentially. The rate he's going, he's looking really good. So yeah, it's man. Edo.
James, what speed is Edo running at right now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a look at that right now. So let's click on his dot and see what's going on. Got Edo 16 miles per hour says on here. Just double check it's live. I'll just give it a refresh. Yeah, you can see Guido, Axel, Rye. Yeah, honestly, it looks like Edo's in a good place. Guido and Kai likewise in a pretty good spot. I like Rye's line as well, but it just depends how offshore that wind is through Hawaii Kai. They're not really quite there yet. You know, you'll feel the wind come out offshore just as you passed Port Lock. So it'd be super interesting. Head back to the live footage, and yeah, no, looking good, looking real
Is,
good.
is this the main backwash section through here, or is he nearly through it? Like, if he's ever going to come down, be in this backwashy section, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this is the end of it, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the end of the backwash. You can see that there's that lump and bump, but realistically, he's already managed that change in patterns. So what happens is when you come out of the channel and into approach Oahu, that you start to get this energy towards you, and that can be a real hard point if when you're fatigued, bumps start coming at you, you're not used to that, and you got to adjust your reading of the bumps and adjust your, I guess, the lines that you're taking. So he's well and truly adjusted, and to me, he's looking super comfy through this stretch. So yeah, I think you can see he's going in towards the island right now. Maybe just sort of setting himself up to get a little closer with the wind being a little bit more north. So he's utilizing the swells that are pushing in to as it gets shallower, utilizing the swells a bit more to get closer to the island and I guess more getting out of that offshore wind, I guess, potentially. That could happen further down the track.
Let's talk Tuttle versus plate mast. I know that you were against the Springer screw nuts because that was way too much drag, and now guys are going to Tuttle for less drag. Like, what's your opinion there?
Look, at the way Edo's riding right now, it wouldn't matter if he was on a Tuttle or a base plate because he's not touching down. But you do get a little bit extra stiffness from a Tuttle because the mast is half in your board, I guess. So there is a benefit to that. Obviously, disadvantage is that you're not able to adjust it. And in terms of positioning, you can see Edo moving his feet around a little bit. So that back foot you will see that back foot move forward and back depending on the conditions. Generally, bigger bumps, more speed, your feet go a little further forward. Smaller bumps, less speed. That back foot's going to come back a little. So you can see him sort of adjusting that weight further forward or further back, and just micro adjustments the whole way along. You can also see his big toes kind of off the edge of the board, yeah, which is something that people always give me a hard time about. But that sort of offset stance does work well, and you can see the world champion or the defending world champ looking real good and doing that right now. So standing tall, you can see he's sort of leaning back a little every now and then. That's just him adjusting to try to get a bit more height. Yeah, he's looking good. He's looking strong. That's for sure. It's still a long way to go though. Like honestly, one fall from Edo, and everyone's close enough that they could catch back up. What's working in his favor is the bumps do look good. So even if he did fall, he probably wouldn't take too long to get back up and going again either. So yeah.
Yeah, Kane hit 2 fish in the Voyager race. It's not unheard of that someone could have a problem there.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus with the south swell or the currents, there could be debris in the water. With the with the larger swells, there is a good chance that there's going to be sticks, rubbish, anything in the water that could catch in your foil and you could come down, which could make it a little more exciting for us in terms of watching along and having a bit of a more exciting finish. But yeah, I think beautiful footage here showing the rocks and I guess the nice big zoom out of what's going on, and yeah, super nice. And the bumps are good, right? Like, they definitely weathered the storm and it's all looking pretty nice now. Looking back, it looks like he's a lot closer to the island than he actually is because of I guess the big zoom on the camera. But if you look at the live dots here, you can kind of see that, yeah, he's Let's give him a refresh just in case. Because it did look like he was cutting a little further north. But no, it doesn't really look like it. If anything, he's maybe gone a little bit further south compared to, Kai Thompson and Rye and Trent, Molokai, Kane. Speed wise, 18 miles per hour at the moment. Yeah, he's moving. See if there's any updates from the boats. The last I've heard is we've watched the latest one from Shannon on the Axis boat, and trying to get some updates on from Adam and Katie on their boat, sort of mid-channel. Let's have a look back. Looks like
If Adam started 5 minutes behind, he's having a cracker, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. He's having a great race. He's probably, probably virtually at the back of the front pack,
Yeah, for a 5 minute lag. That's amazing.
Yeah, awesome. Just overtaking Kai Lenny. Frankie's coming through too. In the women, Annie's holding a really nice north line in the winging. Livio is looks like he's holding off Marley. Go back to see Monica Hagen. Matt Humes looks like in sort of virtual third. Tatiana Grant's up and going. Looks like I guess a few people have either been scooped up or they've gotten started. Ken Winner up and going. Patrick Salmon. These guys.
It looks to me like the dots that turned gray have been picked up. That's my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, Robert Sterling, grey dot. It's that looks like it's about right. The grey dots they're done. And then there's a few dots that are sort of struggling to go a little. So Salal, probably the only Swiss rider over there. He's 15 or 16, and looking like he's having a bit of a hard time. All the dots haven't adjusted for him, but Shep Nelson back there too, Tiago. Not sure how accurate those dots are, but let's go back to the live. I think there's some great footage of Edo.
He's out there directing traffic past boats right now.
Yeah, just get out of my way. It looks like that boat was, I'm going this way.
It's like he's at the hatchery in Hood River.
Yeah. Watching all the freaking windspinners go past. Yeah. It is important that you do let boats know where you are though, because we all saw it last year, you can see the swell crashing up against the wall, the rocks at China Wall. This Portlock sort of section, there's definitely some swell running. That's his escort boat. Looks like he's got a spare setup on board in case something was to go wrong. So that's all legal. If you do have
Are you allowed to change gear?
Yeah, if you have a failure in the equipment, you can change gear, but you can't change gear just for the sake of it. So, if you rig the wrong
Is that
foil,
different than the prone paddle race? Like not foil, paddle race.
No, same for that too. You're allowed to if your rudder breaks or you put a hole in your board or I don't know, then you can swap over. I know a couple of years ago in the surf ski race, Corey Hill had a bit of a shocker and ran into or broke his rudder on a rock, and he didn't have a spare craft, so he was ahead by like 5-10 minutes, but he ended up not winning because he couldn't paddle to the finish. So I'm not sure if those rules are different or he just didn't have a spare setup, but yeah, it does happen. Equipment failures, especially at the old finish, I guess, finishing in China Wall and at Kaimana with the swell we've got. We haven't really seen a finish with a big south swell, so I'm excited to see this footage in yeah, I guess in 20 minutes time because they're going to be, well, it'll be disappearing behind waves, I reckon. They probably have to get a drone up to really see what's going on. There is supposed to be some foil drive sort of footage coming out too, so guys on foil drives with cameras to sort of film the finish so that the boats don't get in the road of the athletes, which would be pretty cool to see. I don't know how that's going to work, but excited to see a few foil drivers buzzing around with cameras and hopefully not get in the way.
Is Edo putting distance on Rye now? Like Rye's the only guy that's within Kui of the top two on the dot tracker.
Yeah, it looks like let's quick look at speeds. Edo 17 and Rye, oh, they're 14 there, Rye 16. I don't know. So there's always hope that potentially, Rye could catch up. But yeah, really, it's looking like Rye's in a really good place in the second. Axel, I still wouldn't write Axel off. Having that inside line may work for him with this sort of more northerly wind. We won't really know until we get to Black Point. Some people might struggle to get further in, but yeah, Edo's line is looking pretty nice for where he's at, and yeah, the size of the bumps that he's riding. Got some live
out there, but as you can see, not letting it affect him. He's working his way through. That might be just actually one of his.
They don't really know what's going on by the sounds of things. There's a few boats around, and yeah, Edo's got his own boat next to him, and the media boat sort of further out away from him. Rye looking good. The battle for third is probably going to be the most interesting at this stage. It looks like, Kai Thompson, Trent Carter, Molokai, and Axel all looking super close. Kane, could also blitz through the field as well. So that'll be super interesting. Guido looks like he's fallen behind a little. I don't trust that. So 2 minutes ago, so his dot's a little bit old. I'd say he's still up in that front pack between Kai and Kane. Finn Spencer that's a good dot. He's back there. Andrew Gibbons right there. So they're having a good battle. Andrew and Finn. Tom Constant sort of fallen back a little. He was sort of up there with Axel and Rye. Looks like he's come a bit further south to try to get a few more bumps. Jeffrey, Annie, Chucho, all having a good battle. Livio, looking like he's in the box seat for the wing race, although Marley's not out of reach completely. With this light wind, it can make a lot can change, I guess. One fall and you're off, potentially out of it. Alan's asked, how do you like Axel's line inside now versus Malay and Trent out wider, which should be quicker into the finish? Yeah, I would say I'd prefer to be. It's tricky because it's going to be. I don't know, to be honest, looking at how the winds pick back up again, even though it's a little bit north, I think I'd still prefer to be like Trent and Malay than Axel. The bumps just get a little small, and I really like surfing sort of in and towards the right and prefer to do that than sort of out towards the left. So the fact that Axel's going to have to come out a little bit, if anything, whereas Kai, Malay, and Trent are going to be able to sort of surf in with that sort of south swell as well. So now I'm kind of liking Kai, Rye, and Edo's line a bit more than Axel's. Axel might have held that northern lineup for a little bit too long and gone a little bit extra distance potentially. So yeah, super interesting.
Funny guy, huh? Someone. You guys surf or not?
Just back to the live footage, we can see Edo. See, he's working a little bit in, so he's cutting. That he was working pretty hard there and had to work his way in to try to. The tricky part with Hawaii Kai is that the bumps are kind of running this way, but the wind is very much running out into his face. So by taking one wrong line, see he's going in right now. One wrong line when he does that, and a big gust of wind can potentially knock you off foil altogether. But yeah, he's working hard, but he's got a really nice bump there and running nicely. He's gliding. He'll be happy with where he's at, I would say. See if we get any more updates from yeah, we got a few more updates. They're only sort of 5 minutes old, so we got some updates from Adam. So to share screen.
I know. But the problem is, it's like I do need to do that. It's insane. Like the east side is even worse, and I'm just like not in a good mood. You know how the heat is, and I can't believe I.
Yes, the conditions look like they've got a lot better towards the finish here. Another one for Shanghai Adam riding.
Good drone shot on Rogue TV right now.
Go jump to the drone stuff. Yeah, good to see the bumps and see how it's cutting to the right. Nice job. Let's go back to. Yes, this is what we wanted to see. The drone stuff is the best. See what's going on really. I might make this a bit bigger. This is obviously Edo out front.
Thank you.
And he's you can see the boat bouncing, so you can see there's definitely bumps. But he's working right now. So he's definitely, I guess, what they call in the bay. He's past China Wall, and it just gets a little different in the bay. Like you can see the bumps are you can see that wind kind of blowing him out to sea. That's a wind chop. He's gonna have to, you see he's cutting hard across those wind chops to try to keep his speed up and not end up too far out to sea. So this is the section that you guess that I was going to be worried for the guys that were going too far south.
Pour moi, le
Because
secteur au nord, c'est pas mal pour Doudou, je pense.
yeah, so basically, yeah, the bumps are looking good. The wind is in, but you can see they are all kind of running. Well, the wind chops in particular are kind of running this way, and that's going. If he goes that way, he's going to miss the finish. So you can see he's working hard to sort of cut in towards Oahu, and well, there's a good shot of where he's going. Pretty much, if he can get anywhere around there, he's totally fine. So I think he's looking pretty good. Get some volume to see what these guys are talking. Any insights from them?
It allows the rider to actually recover a little bit more. So once the bump passes him or he gets ahead of a bump, he can give a couple pumps and get to the other one and do the same thing again.
Folks at home, if you get an opportunity, take a look at the water. I mean, it was absolute pandemonium when we were outside Hanama Bay. You can tell even by the sound of my voice, everything's kind of mellowed out a lot. It really is a mind thing where you have to focus on the changing condition.
So good insight from the commentators there. The bumps have gotten a lot smaller. So like compared to, I guess approaching China Wall outside Hamana Bay, like it was a lot messier, a lot more energy. They've gotten into into the bay, and yeah, it's pretty different conditions.
To the bumps changing quickly right now.
The bumps are changing a lot.
Here, I'm going to pass this over to Himana for 1 second.
Yeah, we're currently mid Mauna Lua Bay right now, and Edo's still going. Seems like he's slowed down a little bit, but that's just because the bumps are better smaller. But yeah, I'm still looking for other contenders in the back. It's hard to see anybody else. I'm actually surprised that he put that much distance between him and the first rider after him.
All right, guys, I think we had a lot of action. We're going to kick it off.
Just going to check back the dot vision, just double check, but you can see where they're at now. And what they're saying on the commentary was that basically compared to over here, there's a lot of texture and a lot of bumps. Basically where that video we were looking at Adam Snow, lots of good bumps out here. Basically where Edo is now, they say it's a lot smoother, a lot flatter. It's way more calm, and it's going to be hard for everyone to sort of get through this last bit after having, like, I guess it's like it's the false dawn. Like, you think it's going to get really good, and all of a sudden it gets worse. It's a mirage. They're having to battle that those conditions, I guess, and ever changing conditions. I guess the best point. Definitely
After that
seen
drone shot, does Axel have an advantage?
a little bit, yeah. I would say like the way that Edo had to work in, Axel can definitely cut out left a little bit better, but only an advantage over Rye, I guess. I think Edo's far enough ahead that yeah, it's honestly it's so hard to say because it really depends what's going to be like at the end here because really as long as you can get in close enough, you can tap into that sort of swell energy. You're probably going to be sweet, but depends how much you've been working to get there as well. I think Kai, Trent, Kane, Malay, you know, you can
My
sort
key
of
stopped
see
working.
you can see the tail,
805.
you can see the tails of all the bumps, kind of working in towards so basically these tails are like a telltale sign of the direction that they're going. So you can see the tails that way they're working in that direction. I'd love to see what Axles are doing actually, to see how he's working. See Rye, he's going a little bit out to sea there. And Axel, we don't have much action from Axel's bump dot right now. It's live, but we don't have the tail sort of showing what it's doing.
Change that 30 seconds at the bottom left to 2 minutes or something. On the right, on the white.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Leaving out.
No, the other way. Make it longer. You'll get a tail, longer tail.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So you see he's sort of going a little straighter than everyone else. You can see Edo's sort of cutting in, whereas he's cutting out. So Axel's able to use a bit more of the wind chop, but the other boys are utilizing the wind, the longer period swells to go in. And so that's, yeah.
Drone shots back on Edo.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. The drone's best. Yeah, so he's looking comfy, and he's still pushing. He's still pushing up and over stuff. He's not settling and like really recovering on any bump. He's rides for a little bit, then he's pumping a bit. This is a good view to see these swells that are running. That's what he's tapping into, and that's the advantage of being a little bit further out. Might just go back and have a look at that just to sort of show you guys what I was talking about.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
If I can chime in here, after the week of being on Oahu and doing this run, that end bit where Axel's coming in at can slow down so much when it hits black point, and you kind of like run into the back of bumps and you can't up and over.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Coming in on an angle like how these guys are is almost beneficial because you just run along, like you said, you kind of trim along the wave rather than running into the back of it.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, the only concern was like how north the wind is. So if they're too far out, you can see there's some really nice bumps just here. So 1, 2, 3, like sort of longer period swells, and there's like the wind chop's kind of running this way. Obviously, utilizing the swell is going to be the easiest waves for the falls that they're using, but if they're too far in, so too far out, they won't get in, which was a concern. Like in previous years, like last year, from some tracks that I saw, Edo was actually like out here, like way further out. So they're all running a much more northern line because of that wind. But yeah, like you said, Trev, like you don't want to be too close in here. Looks like Axel definitely is coming back out towards, and they're sort of converging on the same location. But yeah, like you said, it gets a bit more stacked, which is good insight from you, Trev. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Let's have a look at the live.
So we'll be making it tricky a little bit for some of the riders, but hopefully everybody gets out of here. That's good. Yeah, see.
I don't know if he was talking to us or not. Looking pretty glassy right now. Like, there's still bumps, and we can I'll make this screen a bit bigger and but yeah, it's there's a little Edo's boat following along. Yeah, so you can still see.
Look at this, BK. This is the Molokai. This is the Molokai to.
Yeah, so you can still see like he's still got a fair way to cut in, and like this is, you can just see just in the corner here. That's where he's aiming for. Maybe a little bit wider that, but that's the island just here to the side, and there's definitely texture, but yeah, the bumps do look. You can see he's cutting in still across them, and that was I guess the risk of that more northerly wind. You can't really see much of that south swell right now out in the bay, but as we get closer to Black Point, I think we will see a little more, I guess, swell action, which could help him a little. Alex asks, is the big toe hang over the edge of the board some sort of secret downwind source? It's all about leverage. So having your feet sort of off the edge of the rail, you can kind of push a little bit more. Working hard right now. Probably the hardest I've seen him work. He's on a good bump now, but yeah, that was the most panicked pump I've seen him do on the footage. No one within sight, even on the drone, you can't really see anyone anywhere near him. So hang on, who's this? This is a full driver, I think, filming.
Dot vision showing Rye a mile, 1.1 miles back in
Wow.
second place.
Yeah, daylight behind him. It's going to be an interesting race for second, I think. Looks like first is all sewn up, bar some kind of crash or disaster happening. Yeah, this looks like a foil driver, just enjoying the vision of the champ, or the looking like the champ to be. He's looking super comfy. Foils definitely doesn't look like he's going to fall out of the sky at any time. A few deeper pumps.
Jimmy, what's the dot vision right now?
Let's have a quick look. Dot vision. Give it a refresh. Yeah, so axles, man. I'm not sure if these dots are live or not, but yeah, it is. So Edo hitting sort of 18, 17 miles an hour. Rye more like 14. Axel a bit further in there, 15. Kai Thompson looked like making a little bit of a move, but only at sort of 14 miles per hour kind of speeds. Molokai falling behind a touch. Yeah, it's looking interesting. See if we've got some more updates from the Axis boat. We do have some updates from the Adam Snow boat. So I might let's bring those up just to sort of give you an update on what's going on. It does all converge towards the end. So, and then another update, more recent. So a few battles within the race going on, and yeah, Adam Snow looking good, but just we'll get back to the live footage soon, I think. But Adam's back here just to sort of kind of where the live footage was. We're looking at with Edo with the background of the I guess the volcanic rock that is I guess Portlock. So look back at the live.
Fuck is camping?
Yeah, so we've got coming around Black Point now, basically. It's kind of the start of the Kaiko's run that he's approaching now, and see the swells breaking sort of behind him, inside him. This is kind of where the Voyager foiler movement sort of took off, and this sort of stretch of the run. So it's definitely like we're all the guys with prone foil. I'm just a little bit downwind from here, and chip in and sort of ride the combination of sort of waves and wind. And with this south swell today, I think Edo's definitely, we can kind of see it now, he's kind of tapping into some of that sort of longer period south swells because the winds are sort of coming offshore here towards the boat or towards the camera. So yeah, Edo's just got to keep it together and like doesn't really have to push. He's just got to, you can see he's moving his feet around, fine, moves his front foot forward, back foot back as well, widening the stance to pump and then closing the stance up to glide a little more. Just trying to hold that pitch, keep the board nice and stable. He's not riding super high by any means, but he doesn't need to. You know, he's gliding. He's
run away if you want to live.
doing really well here.
Dot vision showing he got the gap to 1.4 miles on Rye. Axel 1.5 in third. Kai Thompson 1.6 in fourth. So
Gotcha.
second, third, fourth are real tight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good. You know, I'm looking. It's really good to see Edo riding here, but the race is like kind of sewn up for first, and probably going to be more exciting for second.
Gabby has a good live video going right now.
Cool. Let's jump to that because we can see Gabby's going to be right in that mix with Kane. So let's X out of this. Let's go live and click on Gabby's.
Probably hit.
Right, we might. Yeah, so okay, this is the race. So you can see Kane, that must be Trent ahead of him. And what are we looking at? It was a quick jump to dot vision. So
yeah, Trent and then Malay just to his right behind him.
Yeah, and then Kai just in front of him.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah. So it's look at that, 1, 2, 3. So that'd be Kane, Trent, and Malay, all sort of in the mix, and Kai Thompson's probably just in front from there. So great footage to sort of see how close this racing is for. I guess this is for third or fourth place. No, it'd be for fourth or fifth, because Kai Thompson in fourth. So this is fifth place battle, which is you can see how they're all zigging and zagging, just tapping into that energy and trying to get a bit of a rest and then push when that gap opens up. But really cool to see. I think you can just see some boats out in front, which I guess would be Kai or the Tahitian boys, Axel and Rye. Really cool to see those Tahitian boys, push to get in that sort of top 3 position. I hope they can hold it because it definitely is a bit of a make a bit of a statement. Probably the best Tahitian result that we've seen so far in M2O, which it's just been a matter of time, and I think it's no coincidence that the slightly tougher conditions the Tahitians do well, and it just shows the training that they do. Got a bit of vision of the boat.
Edo made it to the surf line. He was just on an actual wave, like swell line outside, but
yeah. So he's at like Diamond Head now. So there's few waves here, and he'd know this stretch better than anyone. Beautiful footage to see what's going on, and just yeah, man, it's these guys are a fair way behind. Edo's look at that. He's pulled ahead even more, it looks like.
He's gone. He's by himself. He's gone.
Isn't he? Yeah, he's enjoying. He's doing a victory lap now. Yeah, this is it. I'll definitely make sure we see him finish. But you can see the battle for third, Rye, Axel, and Kai really heating up, and even more so the battle for fifth, Carter. So Trent Carter, Malay, and Kane. All right in the mix there too. Yeah. Well done, Edo. I'm actually stoked to see, it just shows how versatile he is, it's not just the super windy days that he's looking good. It's the, the hardest the channel's been for the foil, really. So yeah, it's pretty wild.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, mate.
That actually looks pretty tough. This looks like this last stretch could be a little bit. So yeah, it's a victory lap, but it looks tough to me.
Yeah, look at the glide he's got in between though. I haven't seen any like those panic sort of style pumps, and the glide he's getting in between. He's definitely in the surf zone though. And you can see he just then he'll sort of gliding back out.
That's what I mean. Like that, I don't know. You're relying on the way. I think he's got it, but
Yeah.
but we can't give it to him yet.
Yeah. Well, it's a big gap. I think even if he was to come down, he's in the surf zone. He'd probably be able to paddle up pretty quickly.
Mm.
They got an ad going on there, so we'll go back to here. But like you can see, like even just from the footage, like these guys, you can kind of tell how much further back they are. Just the conditions are. It's a completely different landscape. They're the water's even a different color. Like they're not even at Black Point yet, so it's um look, Edo's around the corner, and Rye and Axel and Kai, they're just getting into that zone where they can sort of tap into that sort of shallow water swell energy. Yeah, definitely tough, but that last part's always tough, isn't it? It just changes so much. So yeah, the um the conditions are that's the beauty of it. It does change a lot, M2O, and we've seen that today, especially. So yeah, some few dots in the distance, and Edo. Why are they going to freaking ads now? He's just about to finish. They cross the finish line. Come on, guys. Here we go. So let's make this a big screen, I reckon, because this is probably the shot we want to see of Edo sort of, in the last mile or so, I'd say now. Really tapping into the swell energy there. He definitely wants to be careful he doesn't hit the reef. He'd know it well, but from what I heard, it sounds like the tide is low, and uh, he's got to be a little careful, I'd say, not to get too far in. You can see his inside.
He's almost inside that one breaking. He's a long way in.
Yeah, big time. That's what I was saying. Like he'd know it well, and he'd know the line to be taken. But if you're too far in and you got to go out and around, the thing is, the reason he's doing that is because that wind is quite north. He can quite easily, glide out with the wind at his back. Whereas if he was further out and there's no set, he's then got to catch, like he's got to pump into the wind to catch the swells. So you can see he's pumping out over that wave. That wind is at his back, so he's actually, getting a bit of an advantage. And this this shows how difficult it is, Kissa. You're right. Like you can see he's using that wind at his back to sort of pump out up and out to sea, and he's going to turn on one of these, either this set or the one behind it, to then glide in towards the finish. So
That's pretty crazy, the way he was able to stay high there. No paddle pumps.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really awesome sort of camera work, hey?
Yeah, like this really shows how different the conditions are right at the finish. And like I was saying earlier on, like if you can get a set like Edo's got here, you're happy days. But if you're further out and there's no set and you've got to pump into the wind, you're in a bit of trouble. So see here how he's pumping out to sea. That's actually sort of away from the finish line, but there must be a set coming, and he's going to turn onto that set and then ride that in towards the finish, towards the Kaimana marker. And yeah, you can see he's going out because he's got to get around these waves that are breaking. You see Kaimana just here, the beach is just there. This is the end. This is the finish. He's done it. Huge congrats, Edo. That's a three-peat, and probably the most dominant of them all. Paddling and pumping now. He's working.
Sorry. Called out many gate.
He's this looks painful, doesn't it?
This is
There's
really
someone coming
hard.
in behind him.
That's a fall driver. There you
He's got
go.
it.
Edo. Got the win. That's the finish line just there. So he's he actually had to work out pretty far just to get to the finish line. That just shows how far in he was. And huge congrats, Edo. That was, even with a bit of a rocky start, you smoked it. So guess now
Jimmy, we got his time.
I don't have it on me. Never started it. But yeah, there's the fall drive sort of filming. Let's see if we get some words from him or but yeah, what are we at? It is now 9:28, so was it 4 hours difference? 1:30 that's over 2 hours, right? Mast. I don't know what mast length he's using, but let's have a look back at the dots and see. Maybe go back to Gabby's live. It might have finished now. But the dot vision is probably the most up-to-date stuff. And yeah, you can see Edo now finished. And Rye looks like he's in the box seat with a serious battle with Axel and Kai. Whew, that's going to be tight one. The third.
Kai has been closing on that too, so he's working hard.
Yeah, Kai's an animal. He knows how to race too. Like he'll have a strong finish, almost guaranteed. Although Axel's just sort of jumped ahead. Maybe that's just the dots. But you saw how the waves made such an impact, and some footage of Edo with the media boat there, and celebrations, and I just didn't ever start the clock, but they're still a long way from finishing, these guys. So really looks
Third
like
to
Rye.
sixth are within a half mile of each other.
Yep. Yeah, Rye looking like a lock for second as long as he doesn't come down, which isn't a given. Like, one set wave and Kai and Axel could catch up. Looks like Kai is actually in front of Axel now, which that's an updated dot, and Axel's is a little old, so 30 seconds old, but Rye still moving nicely. Okay, let's have a look at the second place. Yeah, the dogfight for third and potentially even second, to be honest. I think looks like the drone's heading back that way, which should be good to see. Daylight to second. That was dominant from Edo. Huge. He's definitely sewn up. We won every race of the Koakai. So there's your Koakai champion, your M2O champion. And he'll make a big move up the Downwind 4 World Tour rankings with 2 wins to finish it out. He'll be up at 200 points, so he'll probably be in the top 4 or 5 even, depending on how Axel and Rye end up.
Hey, Jimmy, could you pan back to like the top 20, 30 to see how the rest of the field's going?
Yep.
There's a lot of ranked crew that are quite far back.
Yeah. Keep going back. Andrew Gibbons looks like solid. So there was that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Finn Spencer, 10, Tom Constant, 11, Pace, 12, Thomas Goyard made a good little push towards the end here. 13, Kahi, battle for 14 with Manatea, Tahitian twins. Oh, these boys, so we have to definitely keep an eye on these two guys. These are the twin brothers. They were like 2 seconds apart for M2M. Otis Buckingham in there too. Sort of top 20 sort of space. Tibby. And Trent. These guys train a lot together. So Trent and Tibby, that's going to be a dogfight as well. Perth made a good surge towards the finish. Adam Snow.
Road TV, Edo's on.
Adam Snow will be virtually, I'd say, at least Tom
Sakes,
Constant.
you fucking assholes.
Okay. What's your language, people? Annie Reichardt, Long Way North, Chucho, Kai. Who else we got?
So they add 5 minutes to Adam's time.
You're minus 5 minutes from Adam's time, right? So
Yeah.
Adam's like probably virtually at least Kahi or Pace kind of, time wise.
Oh, good. Amazing.
So that's like sort of top 20 for him. Frankie sort of in that same sort of original. Guido's fallen behind a long way. I wonder if that's right. Looks like it is. 40 seconds. That's an updated dot. He's had a fall. Something's happened. I know he had a bad gash on his leg from M2M. He just sort of cut his leg on his foil, so he may be dealing with some bleeding potentially. Naomi looks like she's got a bit of work to do to catch up to Annie, but keep scrolling back. We got Frankie, John Mann.
They're interviewing Edo on Rogue TV now. If you're interested.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it's
paid off, it sounds like. And I know you came in the boat complaining about your foot. Is you got some injury you're working with right now?
Not really. I just probably all the lactic acid, you're standing on your board and putting so much pressure on it. So not a lot of blood flow through it. And but luckily we trained for that. So yeah, just getting the blood pumping into it now and starting to relieve some of the pain.
Absolutely. So behind us, I don't know if you guys can see, we have second and third just finishing now. I think that's one of the Tahitians.
That's right.
You got an eye on that?
Yeah, right, Ari.
I believe it's Axel, Edo is saying. But yeah, or Rye.
Yeah, it's right, I think.
So we just had second finish. We've got third and fourth place right over here. Pretty tight race, actually. I think we have Kai Thompson right here and probably one of the other Tahitians on the inside. This is a battle, right?
That's what we wanted to see. Has Kai got it?
Yeah.
Who's it gonna go to? I think it's gonna go
to.
Oh my gosh.
My gosh.
Who's the other person? They're just zooming
I think the
into
Tahitian
one.
took it.
No idea.
The Ryer Axel, sorry,
What's
I don't know
going
which
on?
one, but with Kai
Oh,
Thompson
geez, that
coming
was
in
hard, but
It's
fourth
been a really
place.
I
nice.
feel like
What a finish. What a finish. Just
if you
incredible.
were to put a couple
Rachel,
gates out there,
I think the Tahitian took it. Either Ryan or Axel, sorry, I don't know which one, but with Kai Thompson coming in fourth place.
See if we can see the dots.
What finish. Just incredible. Rachel, do you want to add anything to this mayhem?
Okay, go.
Pushing really hard, but also keeping your mind focused and having fun. So kind of the way to flow state for me is to ride the waves and enjoy it. So I saw some waves on the inside and I just thought it'd be the perfect way to release some of the tension that I had from all the pumping and ride them and just, yeah, get in the zone and make it to the finish.
So we got a pretty good race happening.
Conditions
For,
were at the
I think we're just going to look at the dots for the moment because Kane, Malate, and Trent all coming into the finish now. I don't know if they're going to show it, but looks like it's a dogfight between Kane and Malate. Likewise with Kai and Axel. I'm not sure who got that. They looked like Axel maybe had it, but they were zooming in on Kai for the video, so that'll be interesting. This dot vision doesn't probably show too much. Here it is here. So, wow, that's super tight. So that's Malay on the whiteboard and Kane on the orange board. And I don't know how, like the finish line is tricky to really see what's going on. As in like where the line is, so to speak. There's two big orange markers, but it's always no one's ever really clear which side they got to go on, and looks like Kane's going to get this one over Malate. Oh, he's fallen off. It's fallen off. So just when we thought Kane had gotten that advantage, he's just fallen off, and that could prove really costly because Trent Carter's out there too. So Malay looking like he's coming in for that sort of, was it fifth place? And could mean that Trent Carter overtakes him as well. And there's Malay crossing the line. Well done, Malay. That's a big battle to Jenny is saying jet ski block this year, full drive. Jet ski block last year, full drive this year. I'm not sure the full drive was in any way, shape, or form hindering Kane in that one. It looks like he just breached the tip, or maybe hit the bottom. See what they're
thinking
saying.
about the girls, Rachel.
I think it's going to be a tight race. We were looking at dot vision earlier, and it looked like Annie and Naomi were pretty much neck and neck, but
No, they're not neck and neck. Annie's smashing it. Sorry, Rachel. It looks to me like Annie is at least as big a gap as what Edo had. So it's pretty dominant as long as Annie stays up and going. Andrew Gibbons looks, yeah, definitely Kane hasn't finished yet, and Andrew Gibbons is closing in on him. After we saw that fall, we got Livio coming across the line. Looks like Kane's now finished. He's gotten up or gotten up and going, got across the line. But such a bummer for him to. I guess that's the pressure, neck and neck with Malate. That's Trent Carter with a great result for him. He'll be stoked. Really, really well done to him. He did a great race. So what do we got? Just double check here. We got crossing. We got Edo, Rye. A battle for third was between Kai and Axel. And then the battle for fifth was between Malate, Kane, and Trent. And I think Molokai, then Trent, then Kane. So that's
Go back to the participants list on the top left, James, in the white, and it'll give you the list. There you go.
Yeah. So we got Livio coming across, Andrew Givens. Pretty big gaps actually. Andrew Givens going across next. By looks things, Finn, Spencer, Tom Constant, and a pretty close one between Tom and Thomas. For what is that, like sort of 11th and 12th. Andrew Givens looking like he's coming across now. Ace, Gage, Otis, Thomas Goyard. Who else we got back here? The Tahitian boys, the twins, neck and neck. Manatea, another Tahitian. Kahi, another Tahitian. So there's 4 Tahitians that all train together, coming in together. Let's keep zooming out. Adam Snow, though, like when you take away the time, he's going to be right up there. He'll be probably looking at like definitely a top, I'd say top 15 finish as long as he makes it all the way through to the finish. Annie, for the women's, they're looking good. Jared closing in on his brother Adam, but Adam's got that sort of 5-minute, I guess, handicap, I guess. He's well up there. Army Armstrong battling with Joey, looks like. And see if they got any more insights to the finish line. There's Andrew Gibbons coming across the finish line now. So huge congrats to him, riding his own foil. He's the designer for Nash, and probably the best result Nash has had in the men's race ever for M2O. So huge congrats to Andrew Gibbons, the long arm date. Well done, mate. That's huge. It must feel pretty cool to cross the channel on your own foil. So well done. It's
Did Kane get up?
Yeah, he did. He got up and finished before Andrew came across the line. Yeah. So, but we got Finn, Tom Constant, Thomas Goyard, Pace, Otis, and where's Livio? He was maybe even come across the line already. Yeah, it looks like he has. He was just ahead of not that it matters, but he was just ahead of Andrew Gibbons. Finn Spencer about to finish as well. I'm still interviewing
that surface area, allowing guys to kind of ride smaller foils than they typically would. So to me, it almost felt like a bigger foil revolution from last year to this year than 2 years ago to that 2025. Do you guys feel the same way?
Definitely, yeah. The times we're crossing in are a lot shorter and everyone's going faster, and the foils are getting thinner and thinner, so they reduce drag and just go faster through the water.
Yeah. I got to shout out F4 foils. I love those foils. That's what I'm on. I feel like they have done me so well. And it's funny because everyone has their own foil brands that they like to ride, their own designs. I also actually, speaking of that, want to shout out 2 more guys.
Pretty cheeky
Kane, who we were hoping we were going to battle with today. I don't see him yet, but want to send him and Andrew Gibbons a big shout out, because not only are those guys just savages out on the ocean, but they also are designing foils for their respective brands. Andrew designs for Nash, and Kane designing for KT. Yeah. So it's just so cool to see the athletes also be a part of the design. And I guess you're going to be doing that as well, huh, with Slingshot?
Yeah, we've already been doing a lot of that. And yeah, I'm so super grateful to be with Slingshot and really excited for the foils we're going to come out with.
Stay tuned for those. I'm sure if Edo has anything to do with them, they're going to be some of the best foils in the game. But remember, no matter what foil you want, if you need something, go to the boss, the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff Chang of Hawaii. No one better that you can possibly get any foil you want in the...
Look at this. There's a Finn Spencer just coming across the line. He's on a huge set wave. He didn't want to ride it for too long because I think the finish line's out here. And he's spewing. So he's come down off foil. I would have held on to that spell a little longer, I guess. Yeah, that's a bummer for Finn. I think, let's double check the dot vision. He's got a pretty good gap to Tom Constant, but still the heart rate will be going through the roof right now. To have to paddle that last bit you're never comfy. And he'll be trying to keep his heart rate down, but yeah, cross the finish line. And maybe if Tom gets close, he might try to stand up and sort of paddle up again. But That's a shocker. I hate when that's exactly how you don't want to finish your race, is paddling across the finish line with everyone else catching up to you. So yeah, that's
So Jimmy, there's a good little battle happening between Trent, Gordon, and Tibby, training
yeah,
partners.
yeah,
They
I
are
saw
neck
that.
and neck.
Yeah, where are we at there? So, oh yeah, so TV a little further in, which could be a bit of a benefit, but yeah, when you're that close, one mistake like we saw Finn just have, that could be the difference. And luckily, Finn had done the work that he didn't have to. He didn't lose any spots, I guess, from that mistake because he had a big enough gap to Tom Constant. But we've also got Gage and Thomas Goyard and Pace. That's a pretty good battle for. It looks like that'd be a battle for 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. So Tom Constant looks like he's locked in 11th, but 12, 13, 14, they're basically in a line. You know, they're all um yeah. Yeah, Guido, something's happened to Guido. He's way back now, compared to what he was at the start. He was right up there. So Guido's now back here, with Jared and Johnny Hagan and Alexander and Cash. So Ghetto won't be stoked with that result. Probably his worst result in a couple of years. But yeah, that big gash he had in his leg probably has something to do with it, I would say. So let's go back to the live. I reckon there'll be a few people crossing. So yeah, that Finn Spencer got across before Tom Constant caught up to him. To me, it looks like earlier Thomas Goyard and Tom Constant were having a pretty good battle. Gage, oh yeah, something's happening here. So there's a few dots. Must be crossing the line real soon. Um, so um, yeah, they've got to zoom a little bit. Yeah, that's it. That's what we want to look at. So there'll be a few people around here somewhere, but there's four guys all coming in super close. So this looks like Gage. Gage pumping out. He's on that inside line riding the waves, kind of same as Edo. And he's tapping into the swell energy and then pumping off and gliding back out, using that offshore breeze to get back out to sea. The finish line is a fair way out away from the waves, so you do still have to work a little bit to get all the way out. I thought Tom Constant was ahead, but maybe he's come down. There's every chance because those conditions look super light, and you're gonna have got some energy in the legs to get that last little bit to the finish line. You can see here where the finish line is. It's nowhere near the wave zones. They really have to tap into that little offshore breeze to give them a slight assistance, but those bumps are not doing anything to help them out here. This is essentially a flat water pump to the finish, and we saw Finn not quite make it last time, and it was just ahead. Gage looks like he's going to get there. Interesting to see how close behind whatever happened to Tom Constant. He must have come down. So that's Gage, and then just behind him was Thomas Goyard. Tom Constant must have stopped, and Pace coming ahead. Interesting how it looks so close on the dots, and you see it not look close at all on the vision. So it'd be good for him to zoom out a little, have a look a little bit further back along the course to see what happened to Thomas Goyard, Tom Constant, and Pace, because they looks like they're all in a super close bunch together. You can see a couple coming just around here. Not sure who that'd be. I'm probably guessing Thomas Goyard or Pace because Tom Constant looked like he'd come down altogether. Whilst there's swells out there, and you can see these set lines rolling through out the back here, it's not helping anyone who's further in at the moment. Looks like a winger coming in as well. What's the commentary saying?
And now I'm looking behind me, and just as I kind of thought, I could see some people paddling in. One is sitting on their knees, and
yeah, so Thomas Goyard's down. Have a quick look back at how close that is compared to everyone else. So that's Thomas Goyard, and Gage's dots. He's already finished. Pace is further back, so it looks like Thomas is going to be able to hold on. Yeah, so Pace and Tom Constant had a bit of tough finish by the looks of things, and they're a little bit further back. Thomas got a bit of space to be able to paddle to the finish, but you definitely don't want to be here. This is not the way you want to finish a race with everyone sort of bearing down on you. Really tough
So,
to.
Jimmy, when you come down, there's three options for you. What's fastest? On your knees, prone, or standing up?
Depends how you're feeling and what you train for. Like I tend to stand up. Like, I feel like that's like if you got energy, standing up I think is the best. Especially with the wind sort of at your back. I never go on my knees because I'm not much of a knee paddler. It hurts my knees. So I either go lying down, sort of prone style, or I stand up. Like I don't do anything in between. But it all depends what you're used to and how you paddle out to your runs. Realistically, you don't really want to be doing any of it. You want to be foiling across the finish. This is Marley coming across the line here at the second place for the wing foil. Livio got the win there. I think we missed seeing them. Livio come across the line, but it does look like Marley got in at second place.
It looks like a lot of people are going to be coming down towards the end.
Doesn't it? Yeah, Thomas Goyard's pretty much there. Tom Constant, he's down. He's 3 miles per hour pace, similar sort of speed. So they're paddling on their guts. Especially the guys that use smaller foils, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt this last bit because unless you tap into one of those sets, it's pretty well flat water with a side breeze. Just tricky. Just double checking. No updates on the WhatsApp group. Winds are coming through now. They're getting close to Pace and Tom Constant. You can see in the dot vision. Ainui and Torua. Sorry, I probably butchered that. Manatea just behind. And Otis and Kahi. So Chucho. Oh, the dogfight. We definitely want to keep an eye on this. Tibby and Trent Gordon. Tibby's still up and going. Trent Gordon, yeah, they're both moving. Jeffrey Spencer right in the mix too, adding in a Hawaiian Canadian sort of flavour to that Aussie battle. Wow. Tom Constant's crossed already. But this looks like see if they got this.
So pace has come down.
Yeah, it looks like pace came down and the twins are going to go past him. Tom Constant looks like he's paddling slowly to the finish line. He might have crossed it now. They're in an ad break, so we can't really see what's going on. Yeah, looks like the twins are down too. They're 3 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. So it's a graveyard out there. Everyone's struggling to get to that finish line. That's just shows how hard this race is. These guys are the best in the world, and that finish is tough, man. So looks like Manatea's down too. He's at 3 miles an hour. Trent's still up and going.
He could get top 20 if they stay down.
Tibby's still up and going. Kahi, he's down. Chucho, he's up, looks like. And Jeffrey, he's up as well. So it looks like of everyone still this finish on the dots we're looking at, Tibby, Trent, Chucho, and Jeffrey, the only ones up. Kahi's definitely down. See if they got any live vision. Here's Tom Constant paddling to the finish. Oh, it's nasty. That's tough. And there's the crew are coming. Like the Tahitian twins are right there. Pretty sure it's Tom. We'll Come on, just pan a little bit to the side so we can see the people bearing down on him. Looks like he's got it because they're not showing anyone else. But yeah, that's Tom Constant with what's he at? Just seeing what he came. Tom Constant looks like he's locked in 14th place. And he's exhausted, as he would be. That last little bit looked tough, super tough. To get back to the dots. Come on, TV. Trent Gordon's down. Looks like no. His dot's just old. Maybe not.
He's good.
Yeah.
I think the Tahitians are down.
Yeah. Manatee is definitely down. Trent still up. I can't click on
Chicho's down too.
Yeah, Chicho's down. Pace is still down. The Twins look like they've gotten up. Let's go back to the live. No, they're just paddling to the finish. Official top three was Edo, Rye, and then we don't know who was third. It was either Axel or Kai Thompson. Super close. I think on the dot vision, they've given it to Kai over Axel, but provisional stats. I can leave you with this. Let's go to bathroom break. It's been a while.
Easy.
Oh, it's a graveyard. They're all paddling. It's like
Yeah.
it's a dogfight to the finish. This is just not what you want. This is where you think I should have gone one size foil up because this last little finish, if you could have stayed on foil, you're going to be looking a lot better.
I think it makes you appreciate what Edo did at the end there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Do we know what the top three were riding?
No, we don't. Not. I assume Edo was on that 510. I think. Okay, so we got that's Trent Carter in the orange. Sorry, Trent Gordon in the orange. We got Chucho and we got Manatea. So these are two Chucho sort of French, Manatea Tahitian, Trent Gordon Aussie, and Tivy. Looks like he's ahead, but he's not in the video. We can't see him.
He's a beast. He's a beast. He's a clubby. He'll get them.
Yeah, yeah. Tivy's the Iron Man. Come on, just pan a little to the left. You want to see what's going on to the side, but you can see it is a little offshore that breeze, and they're paddling into it. This just shows like Edo went in between the surfers, which sort of shows that he used a bit more of the swell and the wave energy to get that little bit, close to the finish line, whereas these guys have, I guess, didn't get the set wave, but also opted to be a little bit further out. This is Jeffrey Spencer coming in front of the frame here. This is, I just want to go back to the dot vision and see. So Tibby's a little further in than Jeffrey. Looks like Tibby might have already crossed, actually, potentially. Someone's up and paddling here. That could be Tibby. Yeah, that is Tibby. He's paddling to the finish, but looks like Jeffrey's going to get him by the looks of things. But if Tibby, like the fact that Tibby's standing, if he was able to paddle up on the foil, he'd probably overtake anyone else who's paddling. But that offshore breeze. Interesting. He's chosen this. He's the only person that we've seen so far that's chosen for that sort of standing up method to get across the finish line. You can see here he is here, Manatea. It's like they're crawling to the finish with that famous Ironman footage, the Kona Ironman, where they're just their bodies are just depleted and they're just doing their best to cross the line. So it looks like Tivy's just crossed. Looks like he got Trent, which is huge bragging rights for those Sunny Coast boys. What do we got? Not officially crossed yet. Oh no, yeah. So it looks like Jeffrey Spencer, Alex Tibby, Manatea, Trent Gordon, Otis Buckingham, Chucho, and then so Pace, who was a fair way ahead, still his dot hasn't crossed anyway. Who have we got coming? We've got Kai Lenny and Adam Snow coming close to the finish line now. Um, Nathan Florence knew to quit early, which I don't know. I think if you've trained as hard as the guys do, I know guys do for these races, to quitting really isn't an option to me. It's always a challenge, but yeah, sometimes if it's that hard, then and you're not up for it, you haven't done the training, then definitely it's a good idea to quit before you bury yourself completely.
He hasn't quit yet. He's paddling at 0.5 mile per hour in the middle of the channel.
Oh, there you go. He's still going. Okay, so Annie's coming across soon as the reports. Adam, we got Kai Lenny, Pace, Kahi, the Japanese Rai Adagawa, Cole Wiley, Annie Raikar, and who's behind? And then
So Annie's still on foil, and everyone in front of her is off foil.
yeah, right. So Annie could be teaching the boys how to do it potentially. Let's see. Yeah, she's still going. Everyone crawling to the finish. All the code guys are going to hate me. I told them to go small. So
Isn't this what they tried to avoid by moving the finish outside?
this is exactly what they tried to avoid by moving the finish outside. And ironically, they probably would have made it to the finish at the old finish because the surf's so big today. But anyway, it's
Yeah, you would have dominated.
oh, these are my conditions, aren't they, Ange? But
Oh no.
the way my body is, there's no way I would have even got to the start line, to be honest. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I'm stoked to see Edo prove that he can do it in everything. That's pretty impressive.
Seriously, Annie is just moving past all the guys.
Yeah, I'm wanting to. Surely they got to show us the vision of
Surely.
the woman coming across the line. Kai Lenny paddling to the finish. But imagine Annie flying past Kai Lenny, to get the win for the women's. Obviously, Annie had a 5 minute head start over the men, but still be impressive to see her finish all the way, on foil. Like we saw the top few men. Here she goes. Here's Annie Reichardt. What an animal. Pumping past Adam Snow. Definitely the big fella. He'd be feeling every bit of his weight disadvantage at this point. I think Annie's going to make it. She's looking good. Paddling and pumping, paddling and pumping. You got it,
A
Annie.
wave behind her.
Yeah, little swell. Oh, she's looking like she's on it. Good on her. Girl power. Love it. This is so good. See you, Kai Lenny. I'm not sure that was Kai, actually. Well done, Annie. That's huge. She's shown that she can mix it with the men, and she's beaten a lot of them today. Obviously 5 minutes behind, but she's kind of been in the top 30 of the men in all the races so far, and for her to pump across the finish line like that when so many of the men could not is huge. So bit of a statement there from Annie Reichardt. Well done. And we'll have a look how far back. There's Kai Lenny there.
It was Kai. She passed Kai.
Yeah, it was Kai. Yeah, so that's a bit of a statement. I mean, Kai was a bit of a mentor for Annie, and she'd be sort of, showing Kai a few things just then. So obviously, I mean, all the men are pushing it foil size wise, and I think maybe Annie didn't have to have the pressure to use such a small foil because I guess the dominance that she kind of had over the rest of the women's pack. But yeah, it's
that just pushed her Annie into. Oh, I mean, you got to adjust for the 5 minutes, but yeah, like pushed her up. I don't know, 10 places.
Yes, yeah. So we got Adams down, Cole Wiley. Surely Pace would have been finished by now. That's his dot stopped. But Adam Snow, well, if we have a look right now, so we're at he's finished now. Adam's crossed in 28th place. But if you take away 5 minutes, you could probably say he's probably beat Tibby and Jeffrey potentially. I'm not sure if I don't have the clock on, but a huge result from Adam Snow. It looks like he probably cracked the top 20 in the unseeded division, I guess. So well done, Adam Snow. Perth.
Perth has done something interesting. He actually was just sitting. He wasn't moving. He was just sitting in the break,
He's
and
up
he's
and
waited
going
for a
now.
wave, and he's caught a
Yeah.
wave, and he's
moving now. Yeah.
Yep.
So he's got a pretty close battle with Matteo, but Matteo L's not on foil, and I think Gale and McCleary's end not on foil. So yeah, that inside line of just using the surf zone to get going, I think is a good one. You can see some knee paddling going on. It's yeah, Perth back on foil after a wave. So super interesting. So where are we at?
Why did you say you take 5 minutes off, Adam?
Because he started 5 minutes behind. He started 5 minutes behind the green dots, the unseeded riders, and the orange dots were the seeded / unescorted riders. So all the green dots are actually like they started 5 minutes behind everyone else.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so he'll be a long way ahead of the guys that are crossing the finish line now with the time adjusted. So he basically beat Perth by over 5 minutes, relative to, and his brother Jared is a lot further back. Where's he at? He's up on foil though. Johnny Hagen's up on foil. Melvin up on foil still. Frankie with a huge result up on foil still. Taputu not on foil. So it's kind of like as soon as you get past sort of this stretch, looks like it's really hard to stay on foil. Just the offshore breeze is probably too much, and with that north wind and the swells, I guess not doing enough. So huge. I guess Annie, I think, is the only one in the last sort of 5-10 minutes that has crossed on foil. It's pretty cool to see. We'll have a look where Naomi is actually, because that's second place. Yeah, so she's back here, just coming around, sort of Diamond Head sort of area. Army Armstrong there too. Andrew and Weirin. Hello, Andrew. But yeah, lots of crew. Guido's still on foil. Oh no, I think Guido must be closer to finishing. His dot's frozen. See what the live crew are telling us.
But they have Keen and they have a lot of really good guys as well. And all the top girls are from Maui, so they're crushing on that.
That's Hobie Moss coming across the finish line now. Looks like
that's a good one. And everyone's always throwing little jabs if the Maui guys come over here and then they eat.
Pretty sure that's Hobie.
An Alan Davis run. We had a few of those recently. So I know Simeon, he makes the Voyager gear. He'll make little quotes like "This ain't Maliko" or whatever. So it's all in good fun. But in all honesty, it's just awesome to have both those runs and all the foilers come together, and the community is just super welcoming. We have people come over and they'll just show up at Tongs and catch rides up. And likewise, we can go to Maui and just send some Maliko runs with the people over there. And it's
a bit of Maui v Oahu banter going on here on the live, just saying how like Oahu's so much harder. And it was definitely an Oahu style run today. Yeah, Lance, I'll have a look for you. So the local, have a look where Jake and Zach and all those boys are. So Jake Daly having a good battle with Zach Chaplin. That's a local that those boys train together. They actually staying together. And again, Luke Atkinson with Zach, and they've had a battle in M2M as well. So some good battles going on there. Adrian DeStang.
Somebody's up on foil.
Someone crossing.
That should be Frankie, I think.
Yeah. Pumping to the finish, he might overtake a few people. So that's again the unseeded.
That's a green dot.
Yeah,
second green dot, I think.
Yeah, Frankie. So he's showing it. Maybe I guess it will definitely be seeded next year if he does it. He's just overtaken a few of the guys, looking really good. Not many people glide into the finish like that, so that's cool to see. Well done. Oh, Nath. So Jake got into the boat watching Zach and Hobie carry on. Yeah. So that's a bummer. Jake obviously went too small. And this looks like on a KT board. That looks like Frankie, right?
That does look like Frankie
Yeah,
and he is
that's
on
Frankie there.
KT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who that was before that crossed. Unless it's the same footage, maybe replayed.
Guido, maybe? Was that Guido before?
Oh, it could have been actually. Maybe you can rewind, I guess. And let's zoom in a little. Yeah, hard to say. Yeah, it could be Guido. I don't. I guess I don't recognize him on the KT stuff. I haven't been racing over there this year. I'm used to seeing him on the F4 stuff. But yeah, looks like if you look at the dot vision, it can tell us. But his dot was way back, I think, stalled. Yeah, it looked like it was Guido. So Guido came ahead, just ahead of Frankie. Um, yeah, and there's the finish showing how smooth it is and how far out it is away from the surf zone. It's actually a little bit further out than it has been in previous years. Now I'll go back to live now that we saw. Um, Cash is on foil. Apparently, he's going to pass people to finish here. So we got Melvin, Johnny, Tabutu, Cash, Jared Snow as well. I'm surprised. Jared's had a uncharacteristic race for him. Normally he'd grind to the finish. But yeah, Cash on a bomb, it looks like. Let's see if they got it on the live broadcast. No, it doesn't look like it. But he's on a big set wave. You can see the tail on his looks like he's going to overtake all the guys in front of him who are paddling to the finish. Yeah, Jared's not moving currently. He might be waiting for a wave. And there's the set that someone was on. They might have even got cleaned up. No, they're still up and going. They're gonna have to find a way off that wave though to get to the finish line. You can see how strong that offshore breeze is. And yeah, that's Cash. Cash is doing the surf foil thing, which is again on another one. Has he come off foil in there? The risk is like you get too far inside the waves and then you can't get back out. Someone else, maybe that's Cash. I don't know. I can change the.
Cash's dot is way up at the blue line. He's got to go straight out to sea pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's him coming across the line now, it looks like.
He's on foil though, or he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of adds. Yeah, it looks like Cash is coming across, overtaking Melvin, Johnny Hagan, Taputu, and Alexander. Johnny's looking for a wave. Naomi and Jared having a good battle by the looks of things. I feel like Jared hasn't moved for a while, so that dot 40 seconds. Zoom in on the non-ad. So that's Cash, I think, crossing. So you're going to be able to cross all the way to the finish as well. Looks like it. Yeah, well done, Cash. Showing us the animal had how it's done. And that wave you got looked sick earlier on, so well done. Yeah, there's some bombs coming through, some serious waves. people sort of opting to not catch him, which I fully get. That looks like Jared Snow actually in the bucket hat, paddling on his knees, surfer pulling off the wave. Looks like we are, in terms of placings, we're in sort of this Johnny Hagan's just crossed the line too, sort of in the 30s, 35th, 36 just came across with Melvin. So it looks like yeah, it's Jared Snow there. So he's falling to the finish, which is standard. That's the normal Jared grit that we see. Um, he's in a world of pain though. That looks like a well, looks like he's just going to get Johnny Hagan, or maybe that's Max actually threw the paddle and jumped in the air. Yeah, so it looks like that was Jared. Oh, it was Pace behind him. Looks like. No, surely not.
No, that pace dot's been stuck there the whole time. But you
Yeah.
got third place women's coming in right now.
Second place, huh?
Naomi?
Second place women's.
Oh yeah, second place.
Yeah.
She got up third and she's coming in second.
Yeah. I don't know how many of the other women are out there actually, to be honest. Andrea Mola's still out there. She's still moving. And Shay Fowdy's out there. But
Tomoko's
still
and
out there.
Anna Kalabakova.
Yeah. They're at like
That
the
should be
15 sort of mile mark, 15 to 20 mile mark. That's a long way to go for those girls. See if we can catch Naomi coming across the finish line. Lots of paddling going on there. Lots of paddling. Let's zoom back in us. Zach Chaplow, Jake.
Army still on foil. Joey Harpstrite still on foil.
There's a few guys out super wide. Here comes Naomi. She's paddling into the finish. Good on her though. Well done to her. Second place, and she's basically still won the Downwind Forward, or she's number one in the Downwind Forward World Tour rankings for the first year. So she's done. This is their fourth race, and obviously Annie got two firsts in these last two races, but she's left two races on the as zeros. So she's looking like Annie looks like she'll probably get second place, with Naomi in first place on the inaugural Downwind Forward World Tour rankings. For the men, we could actually have a play around with this actually. So basically, need to add another column for here and here, and Naomi without a 70.7. Annie
Making ground.
Yeah. Emma Bridge obviously is not going to. So Annie's going to get second place, almost guaranteed. That's cool to see. And then for the men, the big move is obviously going to be Edo. So adding another 100, getting up to 200 points, he jumps straight into third place. But Axel, with a third or fourth place, potentially will leapfrog Edo because he's going to improve on his result in the West Coast Downwinder. And he'll probably get like a 57 or 50 points. So he's going to get above 200 points. So just, the guys that go to more races are going to get higher on the rankings. Obviously, Kai Thompson and Jared Snow kind of couldn't be beaten because of 300 points. They had a first and two firsts each and a couple seconds. So really it was a battle for third place. And looks like Axel's done enough to hold off Kane and Edo, which is interesting. Obviously, I'm going to drop down a lot. I only did two races. Tom Constant, he'll go up because he gets another result. probably keep himself in the top 10. Finn Spencer as well. Rye's going to make a big jump with 70 points. He'll go up to sort of 180, 85 sort of points. So again, probably Axel's done enough to hold him off just in previous races. But yeah, anyway, here you go, Naomi crossing the finish line, paddling on a butt, surf ski style, which is one way to do it. So well done, Naomi, with the I guess the inaugural Downwind for World Tour #1. But yeah, look how smooth it is the finish. Look, and when there's no sets, it looks so tough. We've got a winger coming in too. Looks like there's enough wind for them to stay on foil. They're coming in. Look at that. That just shows how offshore it is. He's coming straight into the finish line. There's a few smart ass comments in the chat group right now. Paul saying, I was hoping to see a slingshot one lock foil change mid race, maybe next year. So that's Matthew coming in from Oahu. Well done, mate. Is that third place? I'm pretty sure that's a great result from a
Yeah, I think so.
Oahu boy. Army's off foil. He's paddling. We might have missed my mates Zach Chaplow coming in, although no, he's still paddling. Oh no, they're out super wide. It looks like so. They're out to this side of the camera, and they've got to have to paddle in to cross the finish line like that. Wow, cool vision. But you just see how much. Look at that. Like that's a long way from the waves to the finish line to be pumping after doing, coming from Molokai basically. So you can see why people haven't managed to do it, but you can see these swells that are breaking. Like I'd be trying to tap into these swells and then like riding for as long as I can and then pumping out with the wind at my back. That's the strategy that Edo utilized, and it seemed to work for him. Few prone paddlers coming in. At least the good thing about doing this is your legs get a rest. You've just been standing your legs for the last little bit, and paddling on your stomach like this is a bit of relief, that's for sure. Got someone behind pumping, coming for this guy on his stomach paddling. So I don't know who this is. You can probably look at the dots to see.
Louis Kaiwi.
No, I think Louis just a kid. Okay, Andrew, Joey Harpstrut, East Coaster. Yeah, he's grinding. He knows how to grind. He's from the East Coast. Someone on foil, someone pumping along. Go, son. I love this. Love seeing the pump to the finish. Looks like an Axis board anyway. Pumping past someone. Can't do anything about it.
Atkinson is back there.
That was Luke passing Army, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Doesn't look like an Army board, but
is that Luke pumping?
His hair's not long enough.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's doing a good. Whoever it is, they're doing a good job. Props. You can't get this last guy as well. Mow him down. He's
so that's Joey then?
Oh, that's passing Luke, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so Luke's paddling, and that's nothing worse. Nothing worse than paddling and seeing someone fall past you like that. I can tell you that.
So that's I don't know how to say his name. Loui, Louis Kaiwi.
Oh yeah, there's the Grom, KV Louis. Yeah. He's an Oahu boy, I'm pretty sure. He's grown a bit since I saw him since last year. But yeah, he's paddle hard. Luke's a beast. He'll be pushing as well. So just looks like Zach crossed already. Okay, so Luke, so it was Louis KV just beat Luke, and yeah, Joey must be a little bit delayed on the live. It looks like they're still working. Yeah, we're on live, but sometimes it's a little bit delayed. Who else we got? So we've still got Army to cross, Adrian Destang, Ryan Kim, John Mann. Do we wait for Josh Koo to cross the line? Do we keep it going for Kiwi to cross? Come on, Kiwi. Dave Galvin, Ryan Kim, Kurt Mumford is the Grom. That's a good battle between Kiwi and Kurt. See how far back they are. Big gap, actually, from look at this pack. This is a tight pack. Tomo, few wingers. Johnny Sobrani had a bit of a tough second half of the race to Richard Gordon by the looks of things. Kui. There's Kurt there. Oh, so Kurt's actually smashing Kui if that's where Kui's dot was. I know. So Josh's dot was way behind. Just remember the green dots are 5 minutes different to the 5 minutes behind, I guess. So they started 5 minutes later than the orange dots. So Adrian Destang grinding to the finish. Come on, mate. You can see how offshore that breeze is. He's paddling in. He's working. He's done the hard yards too, so he's training on the east coast of Australia this time of year. Quite often offshore and not much swell. So if anyone's going to pump to the finish, I would have put my money on Adrian, but yeah, it looks like not this time. Worked a bit hard earlier on. Okay, we've got some here from the champs.
What a great race it was today in the Kiwi channels for the Molokai to Oahu subfoil was just absolutely amazing in the wind foil as well. Got off to a great start 11 o'clock this morning. Conditions were absolutely beautiful in the morning and challenging in the middle, so to speak. But today's winner, Edo Tanas, 3 times in a row, mate. This is just absolutely fantastic. Not the best start that you wanted today, but you got out there in the middle. You said there was a little puff of wind, but you found your way.
Yeah, I just knew no one has a perfect race, and I was expecting one sort of mistake or mishap, and that was my start. So once I got over that, I just pumped as much as I could and overtook who I could and just try to make no more mistakes and just push all the way to the end.
Noticed a couple of the early leaders got out there to a start on the north side of the run line. You chose south for any reason?
I just felt like the faster bumps were going south. So, yeah, I just wanted to go faster and ran with those.
And you said at the end it got a little bit sloppy, a little bit slow out there. So you just had to use your strategy to come home downwind with a straight line of waves.
Yeah, it was really physical. So towards the end where the bumps got smaller, it was really about getting in closer to island and where the ground swell starts hitting the shallower shelves and you can start riding that. So pumping straight in and yeah, just getting there as quick as possible.
Mate, 3 times a charm. Congratulations. Go and take care of your leg. I know you're hurting, mate. Go put your leg up. Edo Tanas from the USA, just an absolutely incredible racer. And talk about another incredible racer. She's gone back-to-back as well. Annie Reichert, the local over here, has just been training the house down and doing absolutely incredible. Got underway at 11 a.m. this morning. And Annie, unlike the others in your league, it took a while for them to get up, but after about 20 strokes, you were up and just pumping away, building up that lactic acid. How was it?
It was brutal. I switched foils at the last second because I just had my mentality was to get up and stay up the whole time at any cost, pretty much. But it was really hard. I literally think the first 10 to 15 miles, I was just doing everything I could to stay up on foil. And I saw Edo mid-channel. He's the only person I saw the whole time. And he gave me a boost of confidence that I was going in the right direction because I honestly didn't know if I had a good line or not. But yeah, I just grinded, left everything I had out there at the finish. I was completely blurry vision coming in. I saw some of my friends that I was that were down off foil and I was oh, I just want to pass them. So it was brutal. I props to everyone that finished this crossing today. Props to Edo. I'm just glad to be on the beach and have made it through.
Yeah, well, you don't look like you've done anything out there today. You look fresh as a daisy. Talk about your line today. I was tracking along with you and your line looked absolutely perfect on the run line. So you chose a good line, very fast line. And any problems out there at all? Any low spots or just all smooth sailing?
I mean, it felt pretty good. I think I used a foil that I wasn't totally used to. So if anything, it was just kind of adjusting to that and finding my rhythm. But Yeah, it was just kind of the unknown. That was like the big question mark out there. I really like the start was brutal. The like middle got a little bit better with bumps, and I like really didn't want to completely trust that it would stay good. You never really know, and so I saved just that little bit in the tank for the finish, and I managed to just like leave it all out there. So yeah, my line felt good, but honestly, like I just headed as straight as I could, and I feel like there was a lot of current in the water, so it was kind of hard to navigate. But yeah, I guess all's well that ends well.
And you could throw a swell in there as well. Yeah. Annie Riker, congratulations. An amazing job today.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, treacherous conditions in the Ki'ibi Channel, and two of our champions already across the line. They're still streaming across the line down here at Kaimana Beach. It's just an awesome scene down here. We'll throw it back to you for now.
Some good insight from Annie and Edo. Edo's foot kind of going numb. Just shows how hard he was working. And then Annie just kind of choosing like upsizing foils to sort of make sure she made it. Sounds like Edo did not upsize foil, and he kind of backed his what he trained on, and it cost him a little at the start, which was super interesting that it paid off, I guess, as the bumps got a little bit better, and basically his fitness and strength and determination got him across the line. So huge congrats to Annie, Rijkaard, and Edo Tanas, back-to-back champs. We're stoked to see you win, but also, we're not going to lie, we're hoping for a little different result because of different conditions. But you guys showed that you guys are true class and getting it done no matter what, which is super impressive. So we got Josh Koo looking like he's coming close to crossing the line. So they're just talking on here. So see what they're talking about.
You might have made up. So it's interesting to me because a lot of it is like, do you want to play the race conservatively or do you want to be aggressive? And we've seen a lot of examples of that in M2O, of course, but even just in some of the fun races that we do where, you might.
Yeah, so they're just chatting about foil choice basically. And, I've always said you got to risk it on M2O because the channel's so big, you got so much space. If the bumps are good to make it work, I guess. Because the bumps are so so many, such a big channel. But then I guess there's the risk that this last bit you saw a lot of crew have to paddle for that last little bit, and that just shows that definitely they've gone too small a foil. But yeah, you can see Kui actually coming in now. You can see the angle of his dot, like he's on a bomb right now. Kui's going to be surfing, and we all want to see that, don't we? Come on, show us the finish line, crew.
This is like the end of his channel crossing video.
Yeah.
G-Land.
Yeah. Surf a couple of left-handers to finish it off. The Kiwi be right in his element. He's like, this is probably the best bumps he's probably gotten the whole way across the channel. And yeah, unfortunately, the not really showing it, but
Zeke Lau's out there grinding it out.
Still out there having a crack, are they?
Yeah, he's back to, hit the run that he knows. He made it into familiar waters now. He should finish.
Yeah.
Nathan Florence is way south, but he should finish.
Oh, yeah, Nathan Florence is south. Sheesh. That's a long way. Yeah, Zeke. Max. Liam. Dave Galvin. Ken Winner. Got some action going on here as well.
Nicholas Capule, 106. What happened to him? He's all the way back at Molokai, basically.
So we just have some action here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Andrea Mola in third place. Definitely huge effort from her. This is not she's an animal, but not the conditions that she enjoys, that's for sure. Olive saying hi.
Mm-hmm.
And Solal, actually, he's still grinding. That's huge from the young kid. He's 15 or 16, from Switzerland. So the conditions going to be any more different to what he's used to. It's smaller than what it has been in the past, but the currents and the variety of conditions is, I guess, really the the thing that changes so much. Wonder why Nathan Florence got a black dot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Celebrity
Boil me harder. Unmute and talk. Nathan had access to all of the lift prototypes. He chose to ride the 91X in M2M, I think. So I don't know what he rode today, but he said he has the prototypes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I heard the
Jimmy, I think Kui's up. Live
Who's
view.
up?
Oh, that might be him coming in, huh? No, that guy's regular.
Yeah, that's not Kui, but we'll watch whoever it is. We like seeing people foil away to the finish. Oh, it looks tough, doesn't it? Like there's
John Mann, maybe? That's too far away to be John Mann.
it could be I don't know who that is.
How big's the zoom? John Mann's regular, right?
I think John's goofy. He's down. He's down.
Hurting.
It could be John actually. Let's have a quick look back at the dot vision just to see. Oh, no, Adrian's could be Ryan Kim actually. That could have been Ryan. Just go back a little and have a look again, eh? Yeah, I reckon that's Ryan. He's That just looks painful, doesn't it? That's tough. That's a tough finish. Looks like Lucas, you're on it. Josh Koo just paddle back up. He was waiting for a wave in there, surely. Ryan.
He's just cutting people off right and left now, going back out to the peak.
Yeah. Luke's going back the other way in his boat.
Yeah.
Tomo having a good race. Chaps. I swear Chaps finished ages ago. Yeah, I think he's going the other way on the boat.
Kui on a blue board?
Like
blue
a
board, red
gray,
hat?
like
What's that?
nah, that's
It's a Kalama, huh?
that's Tomo. Sup, Tomo?
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. He's on go full gear.
All right, James, I gotta go do kid responsibilities, but thank you for the coverage.
Too easy. Nah, thanks for following along. Thanks for helping out. I'll wrap up when Kui finishes though. I think it's been good, but yeah, it's been what 3.5 hours. It's a long video. Long watch party.
Is it finished?
All right, man.
Why?
Good watching, everyone. See ya.
Thanks,
Hey, how's it going, Lisa?
Chaka mahalo.
Who won?
Thanks, James, from the fun
guys.
house in Maui.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for following
Thanks,
along.
mate. Great job. It was really well done.
Cheers. That's been good to
Yeah,
follow.
no problem. Yeah.
Thanks,
See you, mate.
James.
Thanks, Matt.
I'll bring the Fosters next time.
Yeah, ring the Fozzies next door, Matt.
Must be pretty cooked, Chris. And these guys are just giving it all they got, whatever's left in the tank to make it to the end.
Absolutely. And we know that a bunch of riders kind of tapped out early or mid-channel just because they were cooked from the very beginning. Jack, we got to watch
Jack O being interviewed.
coming in here. We saw from the drone, we saw Edo riding some waves, but
So they're talking about everyone like sort of people sort of not finishing, having to tap out because the conditions were so tough. We got Tomo just milking these bumps, super nice, weaving side to side. Still a little ways to go, but it gives a good insight into what conditions there are. This is John Mann coming to the finish now. He'll be
Field of conditions and the contestants, I'd say roughly half the field might have pulled out halfway through the PV channel just because of the difficulty of making it all the way. So we don't know how many guys are left out on the course, but slowly guys are starting to come in and finish strong.
awesome. Yeah, and I know, Jack, for you, man, like you did the start, you got up, you got running for a while, a couple miles, and then came down, and we picked you up because you had the ability to do that. But everyone who's still out there are just still pushing. Other people just couldn't make it. So just tell me about the physicality at the end of this race. This might have been one of the slower foil editions that we've had just because of the beginning. But even when you have a start like that, how hard is it can you regain strength, or is it just conserving the energy these last riders?
I mean, the conditions this year were slightly subpar with a northeast direction with the wind and a big south swell chopping up those wind bumps. But nonetheless, the athletes were able to make it.
A good bit of insight from them, but I wanted to go look at this race between Tomo and John Mann. This is neck and neck and great footage. So I think we'd talk about this. You know, Tomo's
Offshore and you're no longer riding big open ocean swell.
Tomo's sort of utilising these wind chops and a little bit further out to sea. I'd actually like to see both of them go a little bit further in to tap into that sort of swell energy. Tomo's down off foil, John Mann's still gliding. They'll both be hoping for a set right about now to keep it going. The bumps are super small. John looking good here. So he's sort of accelerating up and over that little bump, and he'd be looking for a swell now if he can find it. But you can see he's tapping into these little bumps and finish line in sight, cutting out to sea, going with the wind, and then cutting back right to surf those bumps back in. And this is looking tough and good insight to see what the bumps are actually looking like towards the finish. So we got the first women's winger coming across the line too. I'd love for them to show us that drone footage again, because that was really interesting to see, like how they do get across that finish line. We'll go back to this, see what they're saying.
Past Diamond Head here, it's not as strong as it normally is, but you need a really fast foil to do that. And I know you said whoever wins this race is going to be the best. Tell me why that is and what allows the top.
Yeah, for sure. Like what they're saying is like whoever wins it, they've definitely earned it, and they've done it all conditions. And I just want to see how John Mann, and if he made it all the way to the finish. Looks like he's come off foil now. With Tomo, that battle between and Josh Koo. Last position a minute ago, Ryan Kim. Good battle between Kui and Ryan Kim. John Mann looking like he's going to get there. Kui looks like he's waiting for a set wave on the inside there. So I thought Kui might have finished already by now, just based on like where he was with the waves. But yeah, it's a grind to the finish. I think Adrian's already finished. Yeah, he'll be done already. Saw him paddling earlier. Tatiana and Monica with a super close finish by the looks of things, actually, for the women's wing foil. John, Ryan, Josh.
Hey, Jimmy, thank you for hosting both these Zoom calls. It was awesome, man.
Yeah, no worries. No, thanks for tuning in. I think, and hopefully, I guess the dot vision and plus the footage that M2O put out is so great to sort of follow it along. And it's cool to see there's the demand for people wanting to watch the dots and watch it all together and have a bit of commentary with it. So, no, more than stoked to host these and, just want to grow the sport of downwind foiling. Downwind Foil World Tour is, I guess, hosting this and just doing it for them. But yeah, hope to see more races and hopefully we can do the same. Well, hopefully I'm in the races, but we can organise someone to sort of host these sort of dot vision sort of watch parties for more races in the future. Be cool to keep it. Have this as the norm. We got someone pumping towards the finish. Throwing the shuckers. They must be not Tomo or John. Maybe Richard Gordon or Henry. Boyle and Joy. Johnny Sobrani, maybe. Oh, that looks tough. Okay, wingers. The wing champ, Livio. The audio's not working.
With Livio Menelau right now. Look, he's originally from Brazil, but he is a Maui boy. And today he's bringing it home for Maui, just like Edo. And just a great race out there, mate. Livio, it was another good race for you. 10 times in the channel, stand-up paddling. But now you switch it over to wing. How was your day?
My day start like the light wind and it started to rain over there and I was sitting and they did the green flag. Some guys took off. And I was waiting 15 minutes and it start. And sooner everybody said, okay, I'm going to wait for the wind to come up. The wind come back. I took north line, and everybody went south. And I think I took the advance because the wind was light, but I can manage to go straight lines.
Yeah, you said that halfway through the channel you had to switch out because you went north. You got a couple of runners on the south swell that was happening, but then the wind was a little bit benign, so you had to head back north again. As a part of that strategy, did it worry you for losing the race, or was that the only way that you want to keep good speed?
No, and the whole chain, I didn't see anybody close to me. I was thinking I was top 10, top 20. And by myself, I saw one time one blue boat, but I was afraid to jibe because the wind is weak. And I cannot switch stand. I have to go toe side, and I push the toe side the maximum I can. And then when you start and die, I start pumping like about 10 to 15 minutes. Like it was brutal.
Oh, it's an amazing race, mate. Well, congratulations. First in the wing foil category. You must be just absolutely thrilled to bits.
Yeah, it's my first time. I trained in a lot of light wind this year. It was really excited.
Well, he's going back to Maui tonight. He's got to get up in the morning and go back to his day job, believe it or not. Look, we've had an absolute ball down here today. The conditions have been somewhat challenging, somewhat.
Huge congrats to Livio. That's his first sort of M2O win, and he's one of the OG sort of SUP guys right up there in the early days. And I used to race him when I first started, and to see him get a win in M2O on the wing is really cool. He works for it. He's super nice guy, super funny guy too. And yeah, stoked to see Livio get that win. Congrats, mate. I think we wrap it up though. I think Kui's crawling across the finish line at the moment. It looks like. What if they got a live for us? Doesn't look like it. A bunch of ads. But yeah, congrats to everyone who finished today. It looks like a super tough race. And I'm spewing I wasn't there to race with everyone, but to be able to run to have everyone tune in to the live sort of dot vision, definitely was cool to see and shows the sport's in a pretty good place. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll guess we'll have to do another one for the French events. I'm not looking like I'm going to go to Crozon or Saint-Tropez, but they're the next, they're the first two stops for the Downwind 4 World Tour for next year, or for this year, the 26-27 season. We're all wrapped up with basically Kai Thompson wrapped up, but it looks like Edo will release the final rankings to make sure everyone knows where it's at. But super cool to see the Tahitians and some of the Aussies getting around to all the races and getting those sort of six races in, dropping a couple. Some people just doing opting for the 2 races and still getting some really good results, like Edo getting 2 wins in the 2 most competitive races of the year, winning the Molokai Triple Crown. Huge congrats to you, mate. You've shown that you're a hammer, and we can't wait to see you traveling around the world when you can, and showing us how good you are in other places around the world too. But there's no doubt that you're a hammer in all conditions, and I really think that these lighter wind conditions really showed the versatility that you have in all conditions. And like I said, I'd love to see you come race in France and Australia as well to sort of show your dominance and sort of grow that skill set for everyone to see. Likewise for the women, Annie Reichardt got the win and the Molokai Triple Crown. She's probably going to come second overall in the Downwind 4 World Tour rankings, with Naomi getting the win. She did the 2 French events and then capped off these two events here in Hawaii as well. So they got her full results. So a huge congrats to her as well. We'll look at creating an age group division 2, probably look at over 40s or over 45s, and having that under 45s and over 45s thing will sort of show you, sort of help grow that older age group of the sport too. There's a lot of them out there doing it, and a lot of really talented guys out there. Like Trent Gordon today had a huge event, a huge race, and yeah, I'm super excited to see the sport grow, and all the Kent's asking for an over 65. You're never going to get everyone, but we'll have a look at the numbers and see what the average age of is everyone, and probably bump it up from there. But yeah, it's super cool to see, and I'm excited for the growth of the sport. I'm excited to get there for the next races. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in. This is sponsored by Axis Foils, Code Foils, and Kohi Leashes. And obviously I'm your host. I'm Coach Casey. Check out the Coach Casey Club if you want to get the Downwind foiling. I've got a free trial online. I'll post that in the link when I upload this recording. But yeah, definitely check out the Downwind 4 World Tour. Big thanks, as I said, to Axis, Code, and Kohi Leashes for supporting it. And likewise, everyone, all of you guys for coming on and showing your support for the sport that is downwind foiling. So yeah, onwards and upwards, and looking forward to the next races. Catch you guys. Appreciate you all.